But we'll take a look at what it looks like with the debris tracker just to see if we can see some sort of debris that tries to get picked up there. And there may have been a frame in there where it may have briefly been on the ground before it then lifted. But right now, it's not exactly a slam dunk to be able to tell that. But what I can say, though, is that we've now got this thing confirmed with a tornado warning. So we've got the confirmed tornado warning right now for Grant as well as K counties. So the tornado warning now, it's got that purple color to it, and that's indicative of the fact that our tornado is now on the ground. At this point, though, as you can tell with our overall look of our reflectivity, it looks to be a little bit more stretched out again, so might be, again, looking at this to be cyclical, but again, it has been at least confirmed on the ground by storm spotters, and that's the reason why we are continuing with this warning until 7:15. Again, the Brahman area, Sumter, in portions of far northern K County, need to make sure we're taking our precautions, getting away from the windows, and getting down to the lowest level with our shelter in our safe spot because of this confirmed tornado that we have. And again, we're also being aware, too, of the fact that it's got very large hail, as the storm is still warned for huge hail up to baseball sized. Rotation is moving due east towards I-35 and should be generally south of Brahman in about 30 minutes or so. So again, huge hail right now with the storm. 6 miles north of Deer Creek, moving east at 30 miles an hour. Baseball-sized hail, and that tornado threat is still there. So we'll zoom in to see if we can get any more of our communities to show up here on our map. It does not look to be the case right now, but there's Deer Creek. So again, that's where it's north of Deer Creek. Deer Creek, you are not in any threat right now. But again, the rural portions there of northeastern Grant County and the portion there of K County need to make sure that we're taking our tornado precautions and getting to our safe spot. The storm has been moving still straight east about 30 miles an hour, so I'll do another track on that from where we have our velocity showing again that good looking couplet there. We'll go east at 30 miles an hour. Maybe we'll go a little bit faster just to catch a few more spots. But again, the storm itself has that chance for the tornado as well as very large hail up to baseball size. So the Brahman area will be looking at you to be in potential threat for that tornado. 7:04 arrival time. Sumter, 7:07. Again, Blackwell, if it's turning harder to the right, so turning harder to the southeast, that would be also in play at around 7:10. Greenville, 7:13, and then Dilworth at 7:14. So those will be, again, on the far edge of what we've got drawn here, but it is included in the polygon. You can also see that the Bender area, Middleton, Newkirk are also in the tornado warning polygon as well. So we'll still be treating this very seriously and tracking this until we get to the 7:15 time frame. Now, the supercell itself is, like I said earlier, in a very good environment to work with right now. It's coming off the dry line, and it's very near what we call the triple point, where we do have the dry line and the cold front that have intersected with each other. And so when you have that happening, you've got a really good area there of rotation that you can take advantage of. As you can see with our radar here coming in out of the Vance Air Force Base, right there, that is the combination of our dry line and the cold front. So the storm was able to ride along the dry line for a little bit, then the cold front kind of kicked on in, and then it's now been able to push it farther off to the east. Now you can see, though, with our reflectivity, it's now kind of in one of its more messier stages where that notch is not as so well defined. In fact, it's kind of getting almost, as you can see, kind of stretched out from east to west. And so there might be some cycling going on with this storm again right now, but still remains a very dangerous storm, basically chugging eastward right there along the northern edge of Oklahoma, basically just south of the Oklahoma-Kansas line, and it's moving off to the east about 30 miles per hour. There's also additional storms that we have that are, I'll turn the lightning on here in a second, but are by the Medford area and by Pond Creek. Again, these are out along and ahead of the dry line, and the overall just the environment to get storms going is a little bit better up here compared to where it is down farther to the south. You can see the dry line is still visible all the way to the Thomas area on the Vance Air Force Base radar, and then when I turn on Frederick, it'll then pick it back up again, so you can see by Dill City, Sentinel, Blair, there is our dry line as well. Down here, if I turn a little bit of a lapse on, we don't have much development currently. There's been a couple of cells that have tried to go up there in western North Texas, but for the most part right now, we remain pretty clear outside of just a couple of thin clouds right there along the dry line. And you can even kind of tell right now with our animation the dry line is now doing what it normally does at this time of the evening and begins to recede back to the west. It's now moving slowly off to the west. So we will see if we can get any development along this within the next couple hours. There's always a chance that we might be able to down here. In fact, some of our models have been showing maybe like a cell or two developing nearby the Lawton area and then making their way up I-44 and into the metro area. And then at the end of our newscast, the latest model run came in and it no longer had that anymore. So there's still a chance that we might see some development down here. It's always a big if and always a low chance that happening. There's always a better chance of development across more of the north central part of the state. But how much of it actually stays in Oklahoma still remains to be seen, because at least as of right now, most of our storms have been moving off to the northeast. The exception has been our storm that's got the tornado warning. It was moving northeast, and now it's moving more just basically straight east. So we still have until 7:15 for portions of Kay County and Grant County to be dealing with this tornado warned storm. Checking the latest from the National Weather Service with the chat. Not much additional information there. Still looking at large hail and still looking at that tornado potential to still be present. Let me take a look at what it looks like on the debris signature to see if we can see anything that pops up there. Again, the reflectivity looks a bit more messy right now, so we'll see if we have anything showing up there that would kind of lead us to have concerns with debris. Again, like I said earlier, this blue that we have, which normally we are looking for the color blue when it does come to this would be a lot of dust going into the actual notch itself, the actual inflow of our tornado. That's all being dust kind of getting sucked into it. So kind of watching that area, you can still kind of see that it exists, but it actually also looks to be less impressive looking now too. So there's not as much dust getting sucked in at this point because the storm itself is kind of getting a little bit more disorganized. Again, maybe a little bit in the way of some dust showing there, but if it did touch down, it probably did not impact anything, at least as far as we can tell on the radar, which is some good news. But it still is a confirmed tornado warning, which we have to take very seriously. Like I said, though, it's starting to look a little bit more disorganized because, as you can see, you've got almost now two notches where you've got before where it looked to be really good. That's the old original one, and here we go with the new area there by the Brahman area that might try to do something. From a velocity standpoint, there's some little minor rotation there, but you can kind of see with our different colors with our pixels about where I circled. We still have our main area, which would be where the tornado would be in this more western circle there. But there might be a new area trying to develop within the storm as it kind of gets stretched out, but maybe kind of on the more eastern side of that. If anything, there also could be what we call splitting supercells that would be occurring as well. And in fact, that's actually what did happen just a little bit ago with this storm. A part of it did kind of split off and then move into Kansas, which is the reason why there is that destructive severe thunderstorm warning just to the north of the Oklahoma-Kansas line. What that is right there is primarily due to the very large hail potential that it had earlier on. So that's the reason why we had that storm there. And that splitting supercell might be a thing that we see a few times here. In fact, you know, we very well could actually be looking at this trying to split right now. I'll see if anything is trying to, if NWS is kind of noticing the same thing, but we very well could be seeing what looks like a bit in the way of a split, because as you can kind of see with these last couple of scans, we turn the lightning on, it can also kind of show you too, there's a bit more of a split between clusters of lightning strikes with the farther western older area of rotation and this kind of newer area of rotation nearby the Brahman area. That one may also be an area to watch out for. So again, there's probably looking at now 2 zones worth of rotation within this tornado warned polygon. It does go until 7:15, but like I said, we might be kind of in the beginning stages of what this storm is trying to do, and it may be trying to split a little bit there, which may really increase, when that happens, it may really increase the hail size. The hail sizes can be really big when you get those splitting supercells. And as we can see with our product there, if anything right now, it's just a very large area of hail. It's come down, at least on my product, just slightly, but still though, you've got the chance, the warning itself still goes for up to 2.5 inches sized hail with this storm. So large hail. That tornado threat remains, again, an issue with our storms, again, across portions of northeastern Grant County, as well as portions of northern Kay County until 7:15. Brahman, as well as the Sumter areas, need to make sure that we are on guard to make sure that we are heading to our shelter or our safe spot right now to avoid this potential tornado, and also just to get away from the windows and just the lowest level, just to get away from this large hail. So from reflectivity, it's now a lot more messier now at this point. You can see that as I circle, that was kind of the old area of rotation. This might be like a slightly new area there. Turning on velocity, yeah, we still have our back end still looks to still have that better area of rotation on the western side of the storm itself, in the more classical area that you'd have your tornado, but you still might have a small area that was trying to get going south of the Brahman area. But still, Brahman, Sumter, Dilworth, Peckham, you need to make sure that we are taking our precautions and getting down to our shelter, or at least to our safe spot on the lowest level of your house, to get away from those windows too, because of the storm. We'll put a new track on things just to kind of see where things stand. Again, last check was 30 miles an hour to the east, which is what we'll go with right now. Again, Renfro was in the tornado warning. You guys are safe right now. It's now to your east, and you'll see that we'll pick up this timing with a 7:09 arrival time in Brahman, Sumter at 7:14, Dilworth at 7:20, Greenville at 7:21, and Peckham at 7:25. Again, this will be if the storm continues to move on its track eastward at about 30 miles an hour, and we want to make sure that these areas get the alerts because that storm is heading your direction. Again, there is that tornado threat with it, but also that large hail threat too is also going to be a problem with a lot of our storms. In fact, the main reason why we have the enhanced risk from the Storm Prediction Center for this evening is actually due to our hail sizes, which could be just massive, massive in size. So large supercell thunderstorm producing the tornado threat as well as that large hail threat. Looks a bit more disorganized right now. You've got also more storms trying to fire back up now by Medford and Jefferson and Pond Creek, turning on some of our lightning. There you go with some of our little storms down there. And in fact, just putting a little bit of a lapse on things where we stand over the past 15 minutes. Those storms have also gone up very, very fast. So that, especially that Medford storm, was essentially nothing 15 minutes ago. And now, as you can see, it's a pretty big storm already directly behind our tornado warned storm. Now, there might be some sort of interference going on right now where this Medford storm might be encroaching just a little bit too close to our Sumter Brahman storm that's got the tornado warning on it, but it is close. And so you've also then got that storm by Pond Creek too, which as you look at that, when you turn off the radar or turn off the lightning on the radar, you can see that it's got a little bit there of an inflow notch too by Pond Creek. It's not as well defined because it's pretty early in the lifespan of this, but there's a little one there, and then also again by Medford and Numa, also on that storm too, there's also just a little bit there that shows up. In fact, as you can see with velocity, there's a little bit there that tries to show up. So we'll be keeping an eye on things here, obviously, very closely. Our supercell in Kay County now at this point is almost all into Kay County. Part of it is in Grant County, but it's almost now entirely moved into Kay County. As you can see right now, our inflow notch is cleaned up a little bit more. It's a bit more open there. It looks a bit more classical, a bit more widespread. And I think it's just cycling threat right now. And NWS is also kind of showing that same thing too. So again, it's still potentially hitting the ground, touching down at times, lifting. We'll take a look at what it looks like with velocity. Back to looking pretty good again with velocity. So we know this has gone through a couple of cycles over the past about 20 minutes. So it looked not that impressive just a few minutes ago. Looks like it's definitely tightening back up again. So the storm remains, again, one to take very seriously. We've got reports from spotters that there might have been some brief touchdowns, or it's come down and lifted, may have done that again about once or twice. And so Brahman, Sumter, Dilworth, Peckham, you guys need to still make sure that we're taking the storm very seriously. Get down to those lowest levels, away from the windows, and just ride this storm out because, again, it's got the potential. Looks good on the velocity, looks good on the radar too, for that tornado threat as well as also that very large hail threat too. Now what I am going to do is turn on our debris again, and this may show us a few more things. So, okay, so there we might be looking at slightly like right there. We'll turn that on, and then we'll see what it looks like with velocity. It backs that up. It backs it up. So there might be some minor debris getting picked up right now with our storm. It's not very. It's pretty faint right now on the radar, so it may not actually be anything outside of just some dirt and maybe even some vegetation. But I think though that there is some minor debris being lofted up from this storm, which again does warrant the reason why this storm remains confirmed with a tornado warning. So I still think though this storm remains one that we have to take very seriously. It's obviously in a very rural area there, but there are obviously people that will be impacted, and especially as it makes its way closer to 177 and I-35, then we're looking at more areas and communities to be impacted again, like Brahman, Sumter, and the Dilworth areas too. So that's what I have circled currently for your area of debris that may be there. Again, it matches up there with what it looks like with reflectivity, as that is where we have our good inflow notch right there, where I've got that circled and arrowed out there, and then also with our velocity, it's showing up good there too. In terms of what it looks like wind-wise, we could also be talking about some pretty strong winds. Easily looking at winds that could be closing in on 60 to 70 miles per hour too. So most of our issues with this storm remain the tornado threat and that large hail threat, but we can't discount the chance for some strong winds, maybe in that 60 to 70 mile per hour range, to also be an issue too with some of the storms. Again, that would be more of your straight line wind that you'd have with the storm too, but that could be a possibility with any of them that are able to develop. But again, clearly though, we're mainly focusing in on that tornado threat. We'll put another track on this storm from our area of reflectivity, and again, still moving to the east about 30 miles an hour, which would take it to, at that point, almost the end of where we have our polygon right now. I think at this point, pretty much all of the storm itself is within K County. But Brahman, 7:10 arrival time, so it's been about that 7:09, 7:10 arrival time now for a bit. Sumter, 7:15, Dilworth at 7:20, Granville at 7:23, Peckham at 7:25, Bender at 7:29, and Middleton, 7:31. Again, that would be if it can maintain its 30 mile per hour speed, as well as moving basically just straight eastward as well. But if you've got family that needs to travel up or down I-35 in this area, just have them hold off for a bit, as these storms are obviously quite potent, and we just don't want to have many more people be impacted by these storms going up I-35. Clearly, though, one of our major arteries within Oklahoma. So that's going to be an area to really just, if you can stay clear of that area for a little bit this evening, it would be best to do so because that storm is there. You've got also smaller storms that are within Grant County that are by Deer Creek, and then also by Jefferson and Pond Creek too. Those storms have gone up pretty fast, and you can see there's also a number of lightning strikes with those storms. Back off down to the southwest from there, you are still able to see the dry line. That's that little skinny line there that you've got on the radar. So the dry line, there could still be a couple of areas that are along the dry line that may try to initiate some storms. We have a very strong cap that is in place, though. That cap is that atmospheric lid that keeps storms from going up. So even though we have a lot of good-looking severe weather parameters right now across much of our area, the cap is strong and is keeping things in check right now. The cap is very strong across much of the dry line, except where it's weaker, which is in actually the north-central part of the state, because up there you have not only the dry line, you also have the interaction with the cold front too. And the cold front is, you can actually still kind of see it on, again, the Vance Air Force Base radar going into more of Kansas. That's it kind of gets more straight north-south there. That's the cold front. And so we have the interaction with the dry line and the cold front. We call that a triple point, and that's our main reason why we would get the severe weather chance. So it's really not surprising that our storm that we've got the tornado warning for is where it is, because it was in the perfect spot nearby that triple point. Farther down the line, though, the cap gets weaker. So that atmospheric lid gets weaker into more southwest Oklahoma, which right now still does not have any development along it. And even though, again, the cap is weaker, it still is a cap. And so there's still the chance that down here in southwest Oklahoma, there's still a chance that maybe one or two storms is able to develop along that and then track its way to the northeast, potentially closer towards the Oklahoma City metro area. but there's also more than likely a chance where we don't see anything down here at all. But that chance does exist. But at least as of right now, nothing has happened currently within southwest Oklahoma. So got some good news there. So we are again looking to be good down in the southwest corner of the state right now in terms of our severe weather potential. It's definitely there. It's low, but it's definitely there. And right now, at least things are holding currently, which is good to see. As again, we are looking at no storms that are being noted there. But again, like I said, the atmosphere is really good across a lot of Oklahoma this evening. The cap, though, is just if we can break the cap, that was always going to be the big if. And right now, the cap was able to be broken up in the north central part of the state because it was close to that triple point. Everywhere else, though, the cap might be a little bit too strong. So again, if you're looking online, there's actually going to be a lot of bright colors of just things that look scary. The atmosphere really could support some very potent storms, which is why we have such a huge hail potential with our storm that we have currently tornado warned right now. But the chance is we're probably only looking at just a couple of storms that are going to be out there in general for this evening. And part of that was going to be always in the northern part of the state, closer to where we have that triple point. But on our reflectivity, this looks to be good, and we are looking at the area of rotation to be about 1 to 1.5 miles west of I-35. So this is getting closer. As you can see, the inflow notch looks to be really good right now. So Brahman, Sumter, this is getting closer to you now at this point. Looks good on reflectivity. Yep, we're tightening back up again with our velocity. So let's do another track on things and show you where things are currently standing right now. Again, Brahman, Sumter, I-35 areas. This storm is still moving to the east at about 30 miles an hour, but you still need to make sure that we are taking our precautions. Now, again, Brahman, we've been pointing out to you kind of now that 7:09 to 7:15 arrival time. It may be bumped back now just a little bit because we've got a better idea about where that storm currently is. But still, though, you don't have much time to get down to your shelter or to get to your safe spot. Get away from the windows, get on the lowest level. That's going to be the best spot with this storm. But again, tight-looking velocity couplet, just a few miles, maybe about 1 to 2 miles to the east of I-35, making its way eastward right now with the chance for that tornado threat as well as also that large hail potential too. Taking a look at what our distance-wise is from I-35, right from that couple area. It's going to be a little bit, I think it's a little bit closer to this because there's, again, going to be a delay with my radar product versus what is there. But we only have a couple of miles, really only a handful of miles until that tornado warning and that tornado warned storm will be right over I-35. Again, we've got a new update there. It's getting a little bit closer at this point. So, again, if you need to go up I-35, just don't do it right now because this storm is quite dangerous with that large hail threat and also that threat for the tornado. Again, taking a look at what it looks like on our debris tracker, I think we do have a little bit in the way of a debris area showing up there too. So that circle right there has been present. If you go back a couple minutes, has been present. You can kind of follow it back. It's still been present on our correlation coefficient, which we call our debris tracker. It's been present there. Basically, the radar can tell that something is in the sky and it's not water-based. So when that's the case, it puts it into that more blue color there. So I do think that we do have confirmed tornado on the ground heading towards Brahman right now. So again, need to make sure that we are taking our precautions. Looks like we got a new tornado warning out of that. Let's take a look at what that's doing from NWS. And that one goes until 8 o'clock. So it's now, as you can see, it's not even turning farther down to our south and to our southeast. So it looks like from NWS that we got a large tornado on the ground with brief satellite tornadoes around the main cone. We've got, again, the chance for this to be very close to the Brahman area currently. So Brahman, need to make sure that we're taking our precautions right now. We've got, confirmed from the National Weather Service. There we go with our debris. We've got it on the ground right now, so it is not that far away from Brahman, not that far away from I-35. We're talking only, at this point now, probably a mile or less for it to actually cross I-35. And one thing that we also need to watch out for too is you can kind of tell with this polygon, our original one went straight east. see how this one goes a little bit more east-southeast. So the storm itself is even turning harder and harder to its right, which does actually increase that severe threat to it, which will bump up our tornado threat with it and also bump up the hail threat too with this storm. So Brahman, Sumter, and now Granville, you guys are now in this new tornado warning polygon. Need to make sure that we are taking our precautions. We'll again do it from our area of velocity. Yeah, again, it looks to be very, very impressive looking now to see. This is a strong tornado, guys, so I need to make sure that we're taking our precautions. Timing-wise, we are still looking at this one to be moving to the east-southeast, about 20 miles an hour. So that's also another reason, too, as you can see, it's slowed down a little bit, too. When it slows down, that's also not a good sign either, because that does mean that we are now looking at it to really be strengthening at that point. When a storm slows down, it's able to become rooted to the environment that it's currently in, and it can then really, really take hold of some of those good ingredients there. So Brahman, again, it's now says 7:20 arrival time. We really should be in our safe spot already at this point. There's a satellite tornado also with this too, which probably is coming out ahead of that. So we need to make sure that we are in our precaution, in our shelter right now, taking our precautions right now. The same can also be said for Sumter. Dilworth is also in this too. Arrival time for you guys would be 7:34 if it's able to go on its current track. But as of at least the last couple scans, the storm is turning more to its right, which would be more of an east-southeast movement, which does put kind of more Granville into potentially more of an alert area too. So Granville arrival time will be 7:35. Again, these are areas that are in Kay County that need to make sure that we are taking our precautions right now. Very large tornado on the ground. We were able to see an incredible look there to our velocity couplet. We'll go and take a look at what it looks like on our reflectivity, and that also looks to be, again, there's our notch. It is clear as day that we've got a good looking inflow notch there, and also potentially a potential satellite one too that may already be east of I-35 and east of 177 right now. But again, Brahman, Sumter, please be sure that you are taking your shelters now. You guys in Brahman and Sumter should already really be there at this point because of this dangerous storm. I-35 is shut down at the Kansas-Oklahoma line, according to Highway Patrol right now, too. So, again, the highway interstate has now been shut down to prevent people from traveling up and down this corridor there. Again, we are right there in northern Oklahoma, right there on the state line, and we got that shut down right now, which is good news. So no one's going to be able to enter into Oklahoma from Kansas right now until that storm is able to pass. We'll go back now to our debris and put a little bit of a lapse on things to try to see if we can find out where it is. But you can see that it's maybe cycling a little bit there, but you can still definitely tell where there's that area there just to the west of Brahman. That's an area that we'd have that tornado there. So Brahman, Sumter, Dilworth, Peckham, Granville, need to make sure that we're taking our tornado precautions immediately and getting to our safe spot. Again, very impressive looking inflow notch with this storm. We've also got additional storms that are back behind it. In fact, as you can see, we've got now the storm that was by Deer Creek is now kind of basically just attached itself to it. Sometimes we call these storm mergers or nudges when they nudge up against each other. And sometimes when those nudges are able to happen, we can then get the tornado threat to increase with that. So that's likely what we saw going forward with this storm, is that the storm behind it came on in, nudged it, and then now, boom, we have, again, a dangerous tornado making its way towards Brahman, towards Sumter right now, and basically, you know, probably at this point now over I-35. So again, these areas need to make sure that we're taking our precautions now. As you can see, we've got our really good looking area of rotation there. Just kind of putting a lapse on things, you can see how much it's basically right now what we have, as I take a look at this loop, you've got now a number of scenes where you have far more good looking velocity scans than you have bad looking velocity scans. So the storm, even if it's cycling faster, and it looks better and better every single time that it does cycle. So this is, again, a very dangerous storm heading towards I-35 and Brahman right now, with Sumter also right behind it too. So again, you can even see that we are getting that bright coloration there with our velocity. The radar is what we call it's folding. So we've got very, very strong winds associated with this because of just such a strong area of rotation with this area of storm. We've also got a severe thunderstorm warning coming up for the storm just to the southwest of the tornado warning storm in Grant County. So that's this storm that's about to get one back here. So that's this guy that we have Jefferson, Medford, Lamont. That's the area that we've got. That will be the next warning that we'll be watching out for. But again, our main storm remains the supercell, hugging basically along and just south of the Oklahoma-Kansas line right now. That goes until 8 o'clock this evening. Brahman, Sumter, Greenville, we need to make sure that we are taking our tornado precautions. We do have morning meteorologist Conrad Sapinski. He's in right now. And at this point, Conrad, are you good to go?
Yes. So we are currently seeing this confirmed tornado here, Jack.
Lynx 1 now, guys. We can go to Lynx 1.
Lynx 1? Okay, yes. So let's go on Lynx 1 here. Overall, though, yes, we are continuing to track this confirmed tornado right now. This is in effect right now till 8 p.m., Jack. So we are continuing to track another 45 minutes or so with this as well. But yes, we are currently seeing this going closer to, where just north of Ponca City, Jack.
Yeah.
Just north of Ponca City as of right now.
Yep. On Barron there, turn off our little capture there, because I've got that in the bottom of the screen.
Okay. Yes.
Yep. You can see that.
Yep.
There you go. Yep. So now we got that off there, and then because I was actually working on something before we were able to, before that happened on there. So now we've got control, and we've got, again, 2 supercell thunderstorms that are very close to what we call the triple point, the dry line and the cold front intersection. Clearly, our main storm is the one that's warned in K County, but we did get that supercell thunderstorm that popped up pretty quickly by Pound Creek and Medford. That one's now got the severe thunderstorm warning until 8 o'clock. Probably not looking at much of a wind threat, at least as of right now, but the hail threat would definitely be an issue with these storms. And so this is also, again, in an area that we have, again, very good dynamics in place to support more of these storms. So it's, again, the triple point and the dry line, the cold front and the dry line intersecting. That's what we have in this zone here, and that's the reason why we have a lot of this activity, where the rest of the dry line remains very quiet currently farther down to the southwest. So what Conrad is showing here are the threats. So you've got very heavy rain, but you also have, even within the storms that just got the severe thunderstorm warnings, you are already bumping up to 1.5 inch sized hail, and our hail threat has been even bigger at times for our tornado warned storm. So the hail threat and the tornado threat are really the main issues going forward this evening with our storms. And then as we go into the overnight hours, we'll then be kind of watching the cold front coming on through, which will likely fire up some additional storms later on tonight. But again, most of our activity is going to be in this zone for at least the next couple hours.
Yeah, Jack, so a little bit of an update on this severe thunderstorm warning that we're currently tracking here right behind this confirmed tornado warning. This is in Grant County as of right now. It is in effect till 8 p.m. time frame. It's moving northeast at around 15 miles an hour, still 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, quarter-sized hail as well. So we are continuing to track, the severe thunderstorm warning right behind this confirmed tornado. But as of right now, Jack, we are seeing this confirmed tornado being the only tornado as of now here in Oklahoma.
Yep. So let's go to velocity, and we'll just scoot in on that tornado-warned storm because I think it's still going to look quite impressive there on our velocity product. Yeah, so we've got really tight area of circulation there just to the west of Brahman. It's basically right along and just to the west of I-35 right now, too. We've been talking about it just before Conrad showed up, or as he was getting his microphone on. The storm itself has really slowed down. It was moving east about 30 miles an hour. It's now moving kind of more east-southeast at about 20 miles an hour. So not only is the storm turning harder to its right, so to a more east-southeast movement, it's slowing down too, which also means that it's also trying to really gather strength. It looks really good still on the velocity product, where we have really strong, what we call gate-to-gate shear, so the difference in the wind speeds, both inbound and outbound towards the radar, the greens and the reds. Basically, though, the bigger the number that separates them, the stronger that this thing is, and it's there. As you can see with the rotation detector, there's a big area of just strong rotation that's showing up there just along and just to the west of I-35. But Brahman, again, you guys need to make sure that we are taking our tornado precautions right now. We've been calling your name out since before 7 o'clock, so hopefully you've been in there for a while. Obviously, the storm took a little bit slower to arrive to you because the storm itself slowed down, but we still, though, need to be taking this thing really seriously. And you can kind of see where Conrad has this loop right now of our rotation. You almost kind of see in these last like 2 or 3 scans, it almost kind of looks like it goes backwards a little bit, back to the west more. we have this storm really just taking root right now, with it really slowing down and developing. And so as it does that, the area of circulation is just going to get itself tightened up more and more in that location there. So yeah, great showing that there, Conrad.
Yeah, we're still seeing a little bit more of that, strong rotation here, Jack, like you were just saying, close to Bahram right now. So that is in and around I-35 right now, currently tracking this, area of strong rotation. But we are seeing this confirmed tornado, which means there is, eyes on this tornado on the ground here, and we are currently tracking a wide area of, some strong to even close to extreme rotation here.
Yeah, and what we're also seeing too is, yeah, I mean, the storm itself with the lapse that Conrad has on it, I mean, it is now, whatever is there now is likely just probably rain wrapped. Where Conrad's got the little stick that comes down, that's still kind of where the tornado would be, still to the west of I-35, and where that little I-35 shield is and where Brahman is, it's probably still back to the west a little bit there. If you take a look at what it looks like on velocity, Conrad, I still think that we're probably looking at that to be, yeah, I mean, like it's now finally starting to move a little bit more eastward, but still, I don't think it's actually crossed I-35 just yet. I think it's about to really soon, but I think it still is just to the west, which does show you that's basically slowed down significantly as it has approached I-35. And when it does do that, when storms are able to slow down like that, it does mean that there's an overall just kind of cyclical but increase in strength that we get with these storms. But Brahman, Sumter, Dilworth, we've been calling your names out for a long time. So we need to make sure that we are taking our tornado precautions right now, as this remains, again, a very dangerous storm that has had at times confirmed tornado warnings. It's likely still on the ground right now, or it's been bouncing up and down, where it's been coming up and down from the cloud. We need to make sure that we're taking this very seriously. Again, Brahman might be even a little bit later arrival time right now, but we've been calling your name out for a while. So just make sure you're down there currently in your safe spot or in your shelter. Get away from the windows, get away from those exterior walls. Also the Sumter area too, farther down to the south from there, because again, if the storm is moving, if it's moving more east with a slightly southeasterly component to it, you are in the polygon, but it may try to track a little bit closer to you. Again, as we've got the loop there, there was a time where it was trying to turn a bit more in that direction. Now, as you can see with this latest update, this has now kind of turned it back to moving more straight eastward now. So there might be, which is good news, because that means the storm itself has now started to turn slightly farther to the left, just a touch for itself. And that usually does mean that it might begin to come down a little bit. But that doesn't really mean a whole lot right now when it looks as good as it still does.
Yes, and it looks like it's crossing the interstate now, Jack.
Okay.
So at the moment, currently looks like that is what is happening. But currently still moving east at around 15 miles per hour. So it's already moving very slowly and might be slowing down, like you were saying already, Jack, too. And it is changing directions just a little bit. But there's some damaging hail with this once again. Not only just the gusty winds and the confirmed tornado part, but just the large hail with this once again.
What is the hail size on that still for that?
Yeah, it's getting close to almost 3 inches in a few spots, 2 3/4 here.
Okay, so yeah, so it still is basically up to getting close to tennis ball sized, baseball sized hail size.
Correct.
So we are still looking at this to be, again, there's that clearly tornado threat with this, but also that large hail threat too. Let's see if we can go in on what it looks like on the debris tracker there.
Okay.
And
let's see.
Yeah. What you might want to do is put it on that 15-minute time lapse there, Conrad,
Okay.
and then mouse it with the mouse and actually slide it. So you've got there is still that area of debris that we were tracking. There's that blue there that was west of I-35 at 709, 711, 712. So there's that area there. It's not as impressive looking currently, but it was basically hanging out to the west of I-35 for a number of minutes before it now has basically crossed I-35 now. And I bet now that if this is the current time that we have, we probably are looking at these two areas where you've got the pixels where they're kind of the yellow color with the almost kind of yellowy green color. That would probably be maybe even 2 tornadoes that we have. We've had reports that this has had satellite tornadoes. So there could be actually 2 tornadoes on the ground with this right now. And that would again be not surprising because of how strong this storm is. It would really be capable of producing the chance for a large tornado, but also then that satellite tornado threat too, is still possible there too. And that might be what we're seeing there, Conrad.
Yes, and also with this most likely being rain wrapped, it's also very hard to see. And now it's starting to get darker, so that's another danger that comes into play as well.
Yep, yeah.
But let's see this on reflectivity here real quick. Okay,
Yeah.
as it continues to move slowly to the east.
Yep. So you can see that, as you can see with those, some of those scans where it just looked like it hung out really close to I-35 as it kind of slowed down and anchored itself. Now we're finally starting to see it cross east of I-35, but Brahman, that puts you basically right in the target zone there. And if you, so we've got that either right now over you or rain wrapped just off to the west of you. Doesn't really matter. Brahman, we've been calling your name out for a long time now, so we need to make sure that we are taking our precautions. And hopefully you've already done that, 20 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago, when we first started calling your name out, because where we've got it circled is where we were able to see that area of at least what we think was the debris out there. And then when Conrad had our, that shear, that rotation detector showed up there too. So it's never going to always match up, but they're kind of in the same spot, which does lead us to believe that there is at least one tornado, possibly even two tornadoes out there. That influence still is there. Now it's mainly, at this point, you can see basically right over Brahman and just to the east of there, but just maybe though, maybe. We are still looking at Brahman, you guys, to make sure that we are, again, in our shelters, in our safe spot right now, because huge hail potential with this tornado warning storm, that tornado threat with it too. This is a multifaceted storm that remains very, very dangerous.
So, Jack, here in the National Weather Service chat, we're getting, of course, this is a confirmed tornado. We're getting eyes on this tornado on the ground. We're getting a picture here coming in of a clear tornado. You can see the cloud on the ground here, which, of course, means it is a tornado. So we are, of course, still seeing this confirmed tornado on the ground right now. Let's actually check out this shear rate once again. Still seeing very, very strong, rotation here in and around Brahman.
Yeah, so it is right there. So again, we need to make sure that we're taking our precautions there. And it's, as you can see, it's a pretty big area. And the reason why, it's because it's a big storm. This area is a large area of rotation too, so it's a big storm that we've been able to see. And then also, as you've got showed up there too, just a ton of hail also. Not only just a ton of hail, but also very large hail too is going to be possible with this storm. But with our threats that we've got turned on with Conrad right here, that's going to be your strong wind. That's going to be your tornado potential right there. It's able to see the spin of the radar. So there might be, there's that tornado threat there with that, and then also the large hail, which I think our product counted has actually been a little bit on the low side. Typically, it kind of overdoes the size of the hail, but I think today is actually one of those days where it's underdoing the hail size. And yet, even right there, Conrad was able to pick up a pixel there that had 100-mile-per-hour winds. So it does show you that we've got the strong winds associated with the tornado being picked up with our product. So again, dangerous, dangerous storm right over the Brahman area currently.
Yeah, you're right, Jack. It usually picks up the hail very nicely, and it usually picks it up to look a lot larger than what it actually is. But look at the winds, 100 miles per hour coming on in, if not even stronger in a few spots. That is some very strong damaging winds right there.
It is.
Cause a lot of damage.
It is. So again, we've got, that chance for...
So there is a new update here, Jack.
Okay.
I'm reading the chat here. Rotation has weakened significantly, which is a good sign, and definitely a good, good sign, walking in the right direction with this weakening so far. We'll see if it just kind of redevelops, gets a little bit more strength again. Hopefully not, but as of right now, it looks like the rotation has been weakening here with this supercell.
Okay, good. We got our storm tracker, Kathy Brito, is out. Now, she's not called in right now. I just was checking our stuff that was able to work with her, so her camera is up. And so we actually have her stationed currently in Chickasha because of the potential that we thought that there might be some storms that may still try to take advantage of the dry line farther down to the southwest. And so there might still be that chance that could happen. But right now, we've not seen that develop just yet. But we still remain, again, firmly focused on our confirmed tornado warning within Kay County right now.
Yes, and there is a little bit more development now of a couple of thunderstorms here. Not seeing severe thunderstorm warning with these here, but we are still seeing a little bit more activity behind these, thunderstorms here. But we're seeing this severe thunderstorm warning still in effect here in Grant County. And that's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect till 8 p.m. So we have another 31 minutes. And then the only tornado warning we're seeing right now, and this is an actual confirmed tornado. We do have some eyes that this tornado is on the ground right now here in Kate County.
So now, as you can see, with kind of right where the mouse is, the counter it has, that is going to be where your inflow is into the storm, which is now to the east of Brahman. So it is now crossed over I-35 and is likely, at least for the most part, passed over Brahman. But there might be, like we've been talking about, some of those satellite tornadoes where, again, this is potentially a big storm with a big tornado threat with it too. And so there might be potentially 1 or 2 areas that we've been watching. Right now it looks like that's our current radar detection, and there's our current velocity. So I think at this point now it's generally just to the east of Brahman now by about a half mile or so at this point now. So it's past Brahman, but only had just done so very recently.
Yep, it just crossed over, but still seeing, pretty tight, velocity here. But overall, though, whenever you start seeing these greens, the reds, winds coming, close and away from the radar here, this is another indication here that there is some rotation there. And we are currently seeing that right now, even showing up here on the reflectivity. Maybe not as impressive here, Jack, as, 10, 15, 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, right. I'm just looking at a few things off screen. Been watching the...
Okay, so there's a new update here, Jack.
Yep.
I just want to say real quick. So this confirmed tornado warning now here put into a tornado warning. This is going to be in effect here until right around... Let's see, it is showing around 8 p.m. time frame. Okay, so now it is moving a little bit faster, Jack. It's moving east around 20 miles per hour, so going from 15 to 20, seeing tennis ball sized hail, so 2.5 inches in diameter overall, though. We were looking at this hail size and it was showing closer to 1.5 inches, and Jack and I were just talking about that, not quite picking up those tennis ball sized hail, but we are seeing tennis ball sized hail with this. Once again, it is moving east at 20 miles per hour, located near Brahm, like we were talking about. Overall, though, please make sure you are in your safe spot. You are in that lowest level of your property. You are away from windows, away from doors. You are possibly in a closet, in a bathtub, in a bathroom, away from windows in a hallway, definitely away from windows and doorways as well. And just make sure your family and friends are well aware about this confirmed tornado warning. This tornado warning we are currently seeing right now here with pretty large hail too, moving east at around 20 miles per hour.
Yeah, so we've got, again, the inflow notch, which we're looking at reflectivity right now. The inflow notch would be now, at this point, west of Dilworth, but it's not as clear as it once was earlier on. So it's now between Brahman and the Dilworth area. The rotation may be slightly delayed and slightly a little bit farther west, but it's basically in between these two communities, north of Sumter. But when we turn on our velocity, it just still does show you how big of the area of rotation is with this storm. This is a big supercell thunderstorm, and so it's got a big area of rotation with it. But it's able to move to the east, as you can see, about 20 miles an hour. And so Dilworth at around 743, Peckham at 753, and Bender at 758, if it's able to continue on its track. But as you can see kind of right now, like we've been talking about, the inflow notch isn't as clear right now, so it might become more rain-wrapped and harder to see, which obviously does add a bit of difficulty to this. So go ahead, Conrad.
Yeah, Jack, no, and I was going to say on top of that, also, it's getting darker and darker now. So not only is it going to be rain wrapped, but now it's going to get dark, so it's going to be extremely hard to see. That is why these get very scary and, of course, life-threatening here as well.
Yeah, and we just got that new scan there. Again, it looks to be a little bit more messy right now with the inflow, which would, again, lead us to believe that it would be rain-wrapped, which with whatever is going to be in there would be rain-wrapped. That area of rotation still shows up there. Now tracking maybe slightly farther, kind of more of an east-southeast movement there. Maybe Sumter still needs to make sure that we are in our precaution and our shelters right now, taking our tornado precautions right now. It's still kind of hanging out, again, very close to Brahman, but it is moving east at around 20 miles an hour. But there might be still, again, that chance for something to spin up quickly within this rain-wrapped supercell. And so Sumter still needs to make sure that we are taking our precautions. We've been also calling your name out now for a long time. So hopefully you've been in your shelter or your safe spot now for quite a while. The storm has obviously slowed down since we first started calling your name, but still to make sure that we are staying there at this current time.
Yeah, and it looks like even on here, Jack, you could see it's weakening. Hail, widespread, half an inch to an inch showing up here. It's a little bit larger than what, it is showing up here. But
Right.
overall, though, even the winds are starting to weaken, which is a good sign.
Yep.
You could even see it on our velocity, a little bit more messy, like we were saying. So we're headed in the right direction. Hopefully, it just continues to weaken here.
Yeah, so again, we are in the far northern parts of Kay County right now. The storm has crossed over I-35. So we've got the interstate now just dealing with just heavy, heavy rain behind it. Brahman is now, it's again within this tornado warning. We've kind of lost the confirmed tag with it. I was looking at the hail detector. Much of the hail has been falling in this zone as well. But I think we've lost the confirmed tag with it because we've actually kind of seen it weaken a little bit there. Again, as you can tell, just a little bit more messy looking on the radar. And Conrad, if you can kind of zoom out a little bit more, we're not that far away from the radar. The radar is, again, right there by where it says Vining. That's where it is, just to the north of Jet, along the eastern coast there of the Great Salt Lake. So we know that we're not far away from the radar, so we've got a still good view of it. But it is, at this point now, looking to be a little bit more disorganized going forward. But again, we want that because this thing was a monster not that long ago with just a tremendous look on velocity. We had the damage that was able to be seen on our correlation coefficient. So if we can weaken this thing down and wind this thing down, that would be great. That would be great news there. Especially because, again, we're talking about areas. Kay County got hit just last week with the tornadoes in Ponca City and Kaw Lake and that kind of those locations there. This really isn't all that far away from that. So if we can keep things quieted down in Kay County, that would obviously be great news for us there. But unfortunately, we've had damage we think that we're at least aware of. We know we've had confirmed tornadoes on the ground, so still it's a very dangerous storm to watch out for.
Yeah, and with this new, severe thunderstorm warning that just came up here, Jack, in effect till 8:15 p.m., it's a little bit more widespread.
Yeah.
This one is moving northeast around 20 miles per hour. Ping pong ball sized hail. So now we're getting into like an 1.5 inch size hail here. Still very damaging, 60 mile per hour winds. So we're still seeing a lot more energy here in the atmosphere, even behind this confirmed tornado, that we're currently seeing here in the state, the only one.
Yeah, so again, it's not surprising that we're going to be seeing that storm there behind it also go warm pretty quickly. Again, it's in a perfect environment for storms to develop there. We are along the dry line still. We are near what we call the triple point where the dry line intersects with the cold front. Where you have that interaction between those two boundaries in place, that's a really good spot to go and look for tornadoes and supercells that can produce large hail. So from a dynamic standpoint, what we call mesoscale, so kind of the smaller scale, look to our weather system here. It looks good. And so it's, again, not surprising that we are dealing with the storms that we have right now.
And the newest update here, Jack, it looks like there might be a little bit slightly more increase in rotation when it comes to this tornado here, and that's just south and east of Brahm, like we were just saying, and it looks like it is shifting a little bit more south and east as well. So let's see how it's coming up. The newest update just came in again. It's starting to broad out again. Here, let's pick up on the shear rate. Okay, yeah, there is still.
There it is there, and it's a big area too, like Conrad is saying, so it's a big area.
Strong rotation.
Yeah. What does it look like on on our velocity? Let's see what that looks like there.
Let's see.
Yeah, so it's now, I think it looks like it's a little bit better organized right now. It's going to be between Sumter and between Dilworth would be where that would be. But it's a big area of rotation because it's, again, a big supercell thunderstorm. But you've got, again, that good-looking rotation couplet there showing up there. And I bet whatever we're seeing would be probably rain-wrapped at this point, too, making it, again, harder to see. But we've got that look to our velocity showing us that we have that potential for the tornado to still be a problem there for us. Again, there, our rotation detector got a new update there, again, between Sumter and Dilworth. And it looks like it should look like that. It looks like it's in the proper spot right now for us to still be talking about a storm that could very well drop a tornado at any second. It's already done that now a number of times. But again, whatever we'll be doing will be rain-wrapped and hard to see.
Yeah, you could see all of that rain that's pretty much getting wrapped around here, even ahead of where that potential tornado could be right now. But let's see on our debris tracker. Okay, maybe not as obvious here when it comes to debris, Jack.
Yeah, I don't think we really have much there, which is obviously good. We don't want to see any little pockets there showing up, which is good. A lot of hail, big hail will be possible there too. But again, our main concern with this is on that tornado threat. Now that the hail threats come down to ping pong sized, which is still big, it's still damaging, but obviously a lot better than the baseball sized and tennis ball sized hail that we had warned on just a little bit ago.
Yeah, and the winds are starting to not quite be as intense here whenever what's getting picked up. So that's a good sign, but there is still this tornado tag here, so we're still treating this very, very seriously. You know, you are in your shelters, you are just prepared for the possibility for a tornado in your area out there.
Yeah. So you'll see here in a second, Conrad, but I think we're about to get a new tornado warning for it.
Oh yes. Just came up.
There we go, just came out. So now Newkirk is in this new tornado warning, and it goes until 8:30. So we've got a while with this one. As you can see, if it's going out that long, it's going to be probably pretty slow moving. 2-inch in diameter hail, so we've got it, still a pretty large hail associated with this storm, but moving east about 20 miles an hour. But, it's a bit more at this point now, as you can see, slightly more. We've had a lot of these polygons basically right along the Kansas-Oklahoma line. Now it's maybe back to turning slightly more east-southeast just a little bit. But again, we've got that now going until 8:30. So 50 more minutes now of this, which does include some bigger areas like we've been talking about earlier on, like the Newkirk area. So we've got Middleton, Bender, Peckham, Dilworth, and Newkirk are all in line to see this potential tornado-warned storm move through the area. We'll do a track based on what it looks like with velocity, Conrad, to see what that's going to do.
Let's see.
So again, broad area of rotation there.
Oh, yes.
It'll be moving to the east at about 20 miles an hour from that section there. So there we go. Yep, as you can see, we got our new polygon that will just show up in that last little scan. And so we've got that, again, moving east about 20 miles an hour. So that will put Beckham in line here fairly soon. Bender also in that as well. Middleton and Newkirk too.
Yeah, and starting to see, 2-inch size hail in diameter. So, 2-inch size hail, Jack, it's very damaging. Windows, cars, they'll get dented in. And of course, you just do not want to be outside seeing 2-inch size hail. But yes, that's what we are currently seeing. Yeah, the storm is moving a little bit more east at 20 miles per hour right now. So not quite the fastest storm, but it is picking up just a little bit of speed.
You can see with the loop that Conrad has on there right now, where there is that area of rotation, that last like 1 to 2 scans had now moved it came down just a little bit. It moved down just a little bit more, east-southeast movement. But Conrad, if you could put a track on that storm for us there too,
okay.
That way we can see what we've got timing-wise for your arrival time.
Okay.
And so you're going to be seeing that that's going to come towards the Newkirk area. We'll get that track right there. So Peckham at 7:51, Bender at 7:58, and Newkirk at 8:11. Again, that's a long time from now, so you have a long time to prepare to get to your shelter, to get to your safe spot, get down to the lowest level away from the windows. But this storm is moving slowly, and it has generally stayed moving slow. But we have to also watch out too when these are slow-moving storms that sometimes they can kind of wobble and meander a little bit, and so we may actually end up getting, quite a few tornado warning polygons out of this that may kind of overlap a lot of them because of just slight little changes in their direction. The National Weather Service, if they wanted to, they could go a lot more narrow with the tornado warning, but then we might be running into the issue where you'd have more of them having to give issued because of the fact that there's going to be that wobble that'll be in place. So that's going to be the reason why these are still pretty broad in nature, is because there's going to be some of that wobbling occurring with our track, either eastward or east-northeast or east-southeast. There's going to be some of that movement there as it tracks eastward there.
Yeah, and now we're starting to see, a lot more of these storms developing. They're all starting to connect together here. Even this bottom severe thunderstorm warning that was issued not that long ago here, Jack, in Garfield County, and that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect till 8:30 p.m. time frame here. Still seeing ping pong ball sized hail with that. But yes, currently seeing pretty strong rotation here when it comes to our tornado warning in Kay County. Really rain wrapped though. Continuing to see a lot more rain wrapped in there as well as we continue to head into the overnight hours. And then we are just continuing to track a little bit more of that hail. There's some larger hail in this one as well, Jack. So we're still also tracking those damaging winds and also that larger hail. Even if you're not seeing this tornado warning in your neighborhood, hail is another big issue that we have to pay attention to as well.
Yeah, and just like with the tornado warning, how sometimes the scans look good, sometimes they look bad a little bit, where they've kind of been cycling. And that has also been happening with our hail threat too. They've been kind of fluctuating too, up and down, but it's always been pretty big hail out of this thing, and now it still remains very large with the chance of up to 2-inch in diameter hail associated with this. Again, from the debris that Conrad had on there wasn't really much going on. The rotation detector shows you that it's, again, pretty much right there between Dilworth, Peckham, and the Sumter areas, right there by North P Street and probably right there along West Earth Road, excuse me. That's probably going to be where it would be.
Yeah, we're seeing a good area here, a strong area of rotation here. Moving at 15 to 20 miles per hour. So let me put on a little bit of a loop here, a 15-minute loop. You could see, you know, the area of strong rotation, you know, the couple areas, but now with this newest scan, seeing that this one area of strong rotation. But let me just zoom out a little bit more. Even behind this area of rotation, we're still seeing many areas of weaker rotation in and around Brom. So even though that actual tornado might have passed by Brom, you know, several minutes ago, we are still seeing areas of weaker rotation in and around that town. Yeah,
and that's part of the reason is just because there's more storms back there behind it, running into each other. Yeah, so great shot there, as you can see with the rotation. Again, yeah, it's just a little bit more messy back there still too, because technically there was a storm that was behind there and it's already caught up to it. And so we might actually be looking at one of those little nudges that's happening again with some of our storms. I do want to also point out that we can have that. Let's go down to that storm by Enid there, Conrad. That storm that's in Garfield County is also a lone supercell right now. It's pretty disorganized, but it's probably got some larger hail with it too. Let's see what that looks like with the Barron product. So yeah, so you've got a hail core starting to show up there just around Drummond, north of Drummond, and heading towards the Enid area with your severe threats. So you do have a supercell thunderstorm all by itself right now that has been able to produce some large hail already at this point. And that's the reason why we have that severe thunderstorm warning going until 8:30. I do want to see, though, Conrad, if you turn on at the bottom there the interaction button, where you do the capture, the interaction button, and then we do have Kathy. She's out there right now. If you click on her camera shot, and guys in the back, she may have called in to the line that she has been using last week. I'm not sure if she's called in right now or not, but if someone's dialed in, I bet that's Kathy. So Kathy, if you can hear us, you are right now in the Chickasha area. We have you right in this position because we thought that there might be some development for these storms to be closer to southwest Oklahoma, making their way to the metro. What are you seeing right now at your current location, if you can hear us?
Yeah, I got you, Jack. Currently, we're not seeing pretty much anything. We've got calm winds coming out of the south right now. They're not quite as gusty as we saw throughout the metro during the day. But so we're watching some spotty showers right now coming right down by the Red River. They might make their way up here, but so far everything in central Oklahoma is calm.
Okay, Kathy, thank you very much. So again, the reason why Kathy is there, and Conrad, if you want to, you can X out of her shot and right-click on the GPS.
Yep.
And then we can then just have it just to be where it's just Kathy's. Oh, I'll show you that too. It's over on the side panel there. Don't worry about it. We can do that off the links too. But what we have Kathy down there in Chickasha currently because of the fact that we just still kind of watch out for storms that are potentially able to form in southwest Oklahoma, make their way closer into more of central Oklahoma. There is actually, if we turn on the Frederick radar, Conrad, if we turn that on, we will be able to see there are some showers that are down in southwest Oklahoma. So if we go down to southwest Oklahoma, you've got those showers there and storms by the Frederick area currently. So they're within Tillman County. That's going to be some spots to watch out for as those make their way northeastward. They're in a favorable environment where the dry line is strong there too, but the cap is weaker down there. So there also could be some additional development within the next hour or so down there that we have to kind of watch out for. So that's why we've got Kathy staged there. Actually, we'll go back up now to our main storms. Okay. The primary reason for that, though, is just because these storms here have kind of overproduced. There's actually a lot more of them there, and we actually really thought that most of these storms were going to go into more of Kansas faster, and they have not done that yet. So, and we'll go back to the Vance radar base there too. Yep, there we go. So we are good there with our storms. And so, yeah, we got our tornado warning. And if you could, Conrad, just drag that box just slightly southward, just a little bit there. That way, yeah, there we go. That way they're not covering up those names. So again, until 8:30, we've got our tornado warning there too. So we're still watching our main storm, maybe looking at 1 to possibly 2 areas there of rotation by Bender and Peckham, at least on reflectivity. There might be 2 little notches or 1 kind of bigger, just kind of messier one that's there. Let's see what it looks like on our velocity.
Okay.
Yeah, so still there. And it's still quite strong, but it's definitely rain wrapped for sure.
It is, no.
So we are still looking at a rain wrapped tornado with this one, and that would be between Peckham and Dilworth. It would be right there off to the west of Bender by about 2 miles. Right where Conrad's going to circle, right about there is going to be the area to watch out for. So that's going to be where our potential tornado would come from, but it would be rain wrapped, making it very hard to see. The area of rotation. It's broad, but it looks to be clearly a lot weaker at this point, which is good news. But we still need to be watching this storm very closely.
Yeah, that is good news, and not quite seeing that strong rotation. Right now, we'll see what comes in here with the newest scan, but we are still seeing, even here on the reflectivity, okay, you could clearly see how much rain is around it, how it's rain wrapped, so it would be much harder to see. And now we're heading, into a nocturnal hours, getting dark, very dark outside. Now it's going to get even harder. But you could see many of these areas, like in and around Bender as well. This is all on your way. It is about to, pretty much in Bender, within the next couple of minutes.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yep. Same thing for the Newkirk area too, Peckham. You guys need to still make sure that we are taking our precautions, getting down to the lowest level, away from the windows. As again, not only is it going to be a tough to spot tornado because we have the rain-wrapped nature of this storm. We're also still calling for there to be very large hail with this thing too. So very, very large hail. That tornado potential is still there too. So again, northern Kake County continues to get battered with this severe thunderstorm warned storm, tornado warned storm combo of just a beast of a supercell moving through the northern portions of the county.
Yes, and all of these areas like Bender as well, you want to make sure you are in your tornado shelter now. Now is your time to be in that lowest level of your property as well. Even Middleton area, even though you're just a bit more to the north, we're still seeing this storm, a wide area where we are currently seeing this tornado warning in effect till 8:30 p.m. time frame here. But overall, though, still seeing some weaker rotation. But overall, though, that rotation is there. It is still there. Yeah,
it's there, and it's weaker, like Conrad is saying. Like, as you can see with our rotation detector, again, it's a big area that we are calling for because, again, this was a big storm. It can't just totally, even if it is dying down right now, it can't just totally just stop immediately. It's going to wind down slowly, and as it does so, it usually becomes bigger and wider, the area of rotation, before it's totally gone. So I'm not saying that it's going to be dying out right now because we've seen this a number of times where it's been cycling through, but we're definitely in one of its more downtrended strengths right now, clearly, within portions of Kake County.
Yes, correct. And we'll see what the newest scan is coming in here. If we do see another stronger area of rotation, it'll come in here any second here. But overall, though, still seeing a lot of rain wrapped in here as well.
Yeah.
So we are continuing to track downpours, and of course you do not want to be driving through any flooded roads if there is, because this rain is coming down all at once very quickly, even up to 1 to 2 inch per hour rainfall rates. Once again, as we continue to get more and more updates here on the hail size as well. But overall, though, continuing to track this rotation, in northern Kake County, has significantly weakened and broadened out here for sure. Let me actually put on the shear rate. Okay, still seeing weak rotation here, Jack. But good areas, a little, just north of that rotation is where possibly more of that larger hail is. For example, in and around Dilworth, we're seeing a little bit more of that larger hail. You might be seeing closer to 2-inch size hail in and around your region. But overall, though, oh, Jack, you want to check this out here? There is just a little bit of an area here. You could see some.
Yeah, if you put that 15-minute lapse on it and then just manually mouse it, we'll see what that is. So I guess let's put it where it's currently at right now, and then circle it.
All right.
And then now go to our velocity and see what that shows up there. Okay, so we might be tightening things back up again with this latest scan. It looks to be a bit tighter now. After a number of scans where it looks to be a little bit less more disorganized, it might be trying to get itself back together again.
Yeah, and I mean, it kind of makes sense here too. We're seeing this weaker area of rotation. We'll see what the newest scan is because, with the new scan coming in, it could change. It could show up as, strong rotation now, but we are continuing to track that area of possible debris here, and then just continuing to see that velocity as well, with the green and red colors together.
And if not, it might be. Yeah, okay, so it's in the notch right now, which is possible. It's not very, we're not talking about the blues that we were talking about earlier on, but there might still be trying to get some inflow in there too. So maybe it's not necessarily debris, Conrad. It might be, dust getting picked up again as it's getting sucked into the storm. I'm not saying that that's the case, but we could be looking at that to be at least one option there. But still, though, it does line up with where we do have rotation showing up there on our detector. Yep. And that would be making its way towards the Newkirk area. So I need to make sure that we're still taking our precautions there, get down to the lowest level in Newkirk as this potential rain-wrapped tornado would be making its way towards your area right now.
And still seeing the larger hail, still seeing, gusty winds with the heavy rainfall once again, even up to 2 inches per hour rainfall rate. So now we're starting to get into like that flooding criteria where you just do not want to be caught in any of these storms, especially driving.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's where we have our rotation again. The storm it's a big storm, so it's got a big wide area of broad rotation. It hasn't tightened back up yet, which is good, but we might be looking at, again, the next scan for it to try to do that. Mm-hmm. I think we might be looking at least a little something there, but as you can kind of see, if you zoom out, Conrad, just a little bit, you can kind of see that there's that line. You can kind of see that little bit of a line that does, right there. That actually might be some artifacting with the radar. That might be what we're looking at there. So, we're still definitely keeping a close eye on that little spot, but it might not be debris what we're looking at there. Maybe the radar having some we call it bending is what's happening there. It might be doing that currently.
Or that. Mm-hmm.
But it's a spot that we do have to kind of see and watch out for because it's in the spot where it should be actually. But as you can kind of see, there is that line that does extend out from there. But it's definitely.
Okay, this is the newest scan here going from this to this.
Yeah, so it's gone now. But still, though, it's in the right spot. It's got the rotation with it. So, again, we need to make sure that we are taking our precautions there in Newkirk, especially there. And then if you live along Highway 77, that is what we have to watch out for. And it'll likely stay to the north of the Kildare area, which is just outside of that polygon. But it would be right where Conrad's got the mouse right now. It would be right there if it's going to occur anywhere.
Yeah, and with the newest update here, Jack, it looks like the Oklahoma Highway Patrol here is shutting down areas, US 77 northbound at Oklahoma 11 south of Newkirk. And we are currently tracking this heading towards Newkirk right now, closer to around 20 miles per hour. So let me maybe get out a cone here.
Yeah, so that's the great thing that Oklahoma State Police have been able to do and the Highway Patrol. They've been able to shut down the highways as these storms have been approaching. They did that on I-35, and they're doing that right now again along 77 there. So Newkirk arrival time would be about 8:11 or so this evening. If the storm continues on its current speed and current track, But we've been calling your name out now for quite a while, so we hope that you are already in your safe spot or your shelter. But if you've not gone down there yet, you still have some time, but not a lot of time. So you need to make sure that we do that quickly and calmly. Make sure that we're away from our windows, lowest level of your property, because we want to make sure that you're in the safest, most structurally sound part of where you live. And because, again, there's that tornado threat, but also there's that large hail threat too, which our product has been kind of underdoing today a little bit, which is a little surprising. Normally it's a little overestimating, a little underestimated today with some of these warnings that we've had right now. But again, large hail and that tornado threat remain still ongoing now with this supercell, again, within K County.
Yeah, a little surprising with that, Jack, too, right? Usually
Yeah.
it picks up the hail where it's much larger than what it actually is,
Right.
but this time it's quite the opposite. So we're not quite getting the most accurate hail size totals here, but we have the National Weather Service here. We have chats where we are currently looking at,
Exactly.
you know, more of an accurate hail size, too.
Exactly. If you wouldn't mind, Conrad, go back to regular radar and just kind of zoom out because the current time right now is almost 8 o'clock. We are tracking this tornado-warned storm within K County, but you can tell now that we have a number of other severe thunderstorm warnings that are ongoing now at this point as well, from Blackwell towards Lamont and Pond Creek, and then also over Enid, as that still kind of lone supercell is over a good majority there of central Garfield County. So these storms within the northern part of the state have been able to develop near what we call the triple point, which is near the intersection of the dry line and the cold front. We've had these storms now for the past, I'd say about hour and a half or so in this zone. Actually a little bit longer than that now, but they've been severe for about that time.
Jack, we're about to get a tornado warning on this thunderstorm
I was going to
here.
say, because as
We're about to get that coming in.
So go and look at the velocity there, Conrad, for by Drummond and Emo right there. There you go. So that is going to be moving. There you go.
Look at that.
Tornado warning until 8:45. Does include Enid. It does include the actual Vance Air Force Base itself. Wacomas is in there. Shea is in there. Breckenridge, Fairmount. That's got that good-looking hook now to it. We've got the little hook on the back side of the storm right there by the Emo area. There's that area of rotation which is showing up. It's not very big right now, but it is showing up, and it's going to likely get bigger and bigger in time. But this storm is moving off to the northeast currently, at least east-northeast at its current track. And Conrad, I would probably imagine it's not all that fast.
No, it's still moving around 25 miles per
25,
hour.
yeah.
It has some golf ball sized hail too, so
Okay.
just under 2 inches.
Okay.
But this was just issued, the tornado warning we're currently seeing right now in central Garfield County here in, of course, here just currently tracking it till 8:45 p.m. So we have 44 minutes with this tornado warning right now, but seeing a weak area of rotation. We'll see what comes in here when it comes, you know, to with the newest scans here. But it looks like just to the west of Vance Air Force Base is where we are currently seeing the weak area of rotation right now. But with the newer scans coming in, this could just strengthen. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, so obviously we want to keep it away. We obviously want to keep it out in the open anyways, but we especially want to keep it away from the Air Force Base as there's a lot of expensive equipment that's there. Don't want that to be impacted, but as you can see, the hail core, huge hail core, will be basically right over Enid right now. Very large hail, and it's going to be a very large hail core in and of itself. So again, the hail size is going to be big, and the area of hail is also going to be big too. Again, making its way towards the Air Force Base, towards Meadow Lake Park, and towards Enid itself over the next little bit. So if we could do a track from the area of rotation, let's go on velocity. And we'll do from the area of rotation, which is kind of messy with this latest scan there, but we have right about there. You said it was moving east about 20 miles an hour, you said, Conrad?
Yes,
Yeah.
east at 20.
So again,
Let me put this on.
yep. So North Enid, Oakwood Country Club, Enid, Meadow Lake Park, Vance Air Force Base. Even though Wacomas is not going to get shown up on this little track that we've drawn there, you need to make sure we're also taking this seriously too. Again, it's moving 20 miles an hour to the east-northeast, but Vance Air Force Base arrival time in about 10 minutes from now, 8:12 p.m. Meadow Lake Park at 8:17, Enid High School at 8:21, Enid at 8:23, and then North Oklahoma College at 8:27 if it's able to continue on its current speed and current track. Slowly northeast, about 20 miles an hour, so you've got some time, but not exactly a lot of time. So you need to make sure that we are, again, taking our precautions, getting down to the lowest level of your house, away from the windows, and do that quickly, but do that calmly as well, as you can make sure that you don't forget anything. Obviously, you want to make sure that you're wearing your shoes when you go down to your shelter or your safe spot. We want to make sure that we're away from those windows because that hail core is also getting bigger too. As you can see, the areas of rotation, maybe not exactly as big as what the other tornado warning storm north of there is, but we are still looking at that one to be clearly visible there when you look at our velocity.
Yeah, no, you could. Are you talking about this tornado warning down here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yes, yeah. You could see, clearly on the velocity here where the possible rotation is with this tornado warning.
Yeah.
It looks like just south and west of Vance Air Force Base right now, here at 8:03 p.m. Currently seeing this tornado warning in effect, 8:45 p.m. here in Garfield County. Continuing to track hail almost at 2 inches.
Okay.
Not quite there, but still seeing, of course, a heavy rainfall, even up to 2 inches per hour. So we're starting to see some downpours here, Jack. Very quickly could start seeing some flooded roadways in a few spots, especially if they're prone to seeing a little bit of flooding as well.
Okay, so we have 2 tornado warnings in the northern part of the state. We have the storm that's over Garfield County in Enid, and then we also have still our Kay County storm. The Kay County storm goes until 8:30. The Garfield County storm goes until 8:45. That storm is now heading towards, the Kay County storm is now heading towards Newkirk currently. And it looks to have a pretty, when you look at it on reflectivity, it's got a pretty good, well-defined area of the rear flank downdraft, that area that's coming out right where Canada's got the mouse. Those darker colors kind of shooting out from there. We've got a indicative there of some really strong winds also coming out of this too. Now clearly it still's got a lot of rotation to work with there, so Newkirk still needs to make sure that we're taking our precautions right now. It's not that far away from you. In fact, there are some areas of some tighter rotation starting to show back up again, a little bit back off to the west of the Peckham area. But it's still there. Still has a lot of rotation showing up there. Some little pockets there are starting to strengthen back up again too. So this storm is not done yet, unfortunately, as it moves its way through the northern parts of Kay County.
Yeah, and it looks like, Jack, there is 2 areas of strong rotation here with this northern tornado warning, and this one's in Kay County, just to the west of Newkirk, and then also you could see that a strong area of rotation right behind that one as well. So we're seeing these 2 areas of some strong rotation. Let me see how that's looking here on reflectivity. Okay, so we are seeing, we're seeing a lot of rainfall wrapped in here as well. So rain wrapped, and also now it's nighttime. So very, very hard to see this actual tornado here. That is why it just makes it a lot more dangerous where we do enter those, overnight hours, and
Exactly.
it is rain wrapped as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Big danger.
So again, we got 2 tornado warnings ongoing right now. Kay County has been the one that we've been watching for a long time, and then we've got our newest one that is within Garfield County until 8:45. Let's go back down to that Garfield County one, Conrad, and let's take a look at what it looks like on velocity to see if we're able to see any more. All right, so we still have our area of rotation there. It's going to be north of Wacomis and probably passing very close to where the Air Force Base is. So again, Vance Air Force Base residents, Meadow Lake Park, Enid, especially the south side of Enid, need to make sure that we're taking our tornado precautions and getting away from the windows, getting down to that lowest level, and do that quickly but calmly, because again, this is going to be still a dangerous storm. The area of rotation, it's still going to show up there as fairly weak, and it's pretty small compared to the other ones too, but it's in a good environment. It's not surprising that we do have the tornado warning with this storm.
Yeah, and as of right now, it does look like it's still a little bit more to the west of Vance Air Force Base right now. Still moving, around that 20-25 mile per hour rate. On the closer to average side, a little bit on the slower side. But overall, though, we are continuing to track this one just small area of weak rotation. Let me see how it's looking on the velocity here. Okay, not the strongest winds.
Yeah, so it's got. At this point, we're a little bit farther away from the radar, so you got some big numbers showing up there, but they are going to be a little bit higher off the ground. But there's still going to be the potential there for still some strong winds with this in general. But I don't know if they're going to be talking about them to be as strong as what this is showing there. But you get the idea, though. Again, Wacomis, Vance Air Force Base, Meadow Lake Park, south side of Eden, need to make sure that we're taking our precautions as this is moving very close to your area there. From reflectivity, you can see that the overall, the hook echo to it is kind of faint on the back side. It's not, it's there, it shows up there, but it's not all red as you normally would see. So it's just kind of in its beginning stages, really, of its tornado lifespan. It kind of closed up there with that last scan, but still heading towards Vance, and you've got, again, the area that shows up there of more of that strong rotation in that same spot. So again, Vance Air Force Base, Meadow Lake Park, south side of Enid, need to make sure that we're again taking our tornado precautions and getting down to that lowest level away from the windows, because it's still a potent storm, and clearly, as you can see, we've got that area of rotation that's got the potential to make a tornado make its way all the way down to the ground. So 8:11 arrival time potentially for Vance Air Force Base, North Oklahoma College at 8:23, Shea at 8:29, and then the Etna area at 8:33.
Yeah, we're currently seeing this jack moving around that 25 mile per hour rate right now, but we are seeing many areas, that just have to be prepared for this. Look at, just north of this actual cone here, you see that jack there, seeing even the weak areas of rotation. So we're seeing multiple areas of a weaker rotation with some strong rotation actually just to the west of Vance Air Force Base with this newest scan.
Yeah, so I think there is a chance that we could be looking at the tornado trying to get going there. Let's see what it looks like with the debris tracker, Conrad, to see if we can see anything that shows up there. Now, there's a lot of blue, as you can tell, and that would be, again, that inflow coming in there. But if we zoom in there, and then maybe do that manual time lapse to see if there was anything there, then we might be able to see something. So it's coming on in. It's got strong inflow, maybe right there to the west of Vance, right there, maybe, and then it's tough to tell. But I think there's definitely a case to be made that there's a lot of at least dust getting picked up and sucked into the storm, and it's right where it needs to be for that inflow. So it's definitely a possibility that we could be looking at a tornado that would be developing very quickly at this point, not that far away from Vance. So need to make sure, again, residents there need to make sure that we're taking our tornado precautions. That area of rotation may be down a little bit in size and in scope, but
Correct.
It is still there. And so again, locations basically, right along and west of Highway 81, right there by Vance Air Force Base, Meadow Lake Park, south side of Enid. Need to make sure that we're taking our precautions right now. Timing wise, again, you got like 1 to 2 minutes for Vance Air Force Base to arrive there. Shea at 8:31 is what it's going to show up as. You've got the Etna area at 8:34, and then Fairmount, if it continues to do that, 8:39 arrival time.
Yep, and even here on the reflectivity, Jack, you could see it not as impressive on the back end. We're seeing a lot more of, rainfall, hail with this one as well ahead of this actual potential of, where this tornado could be in and around Vance Air Force Base, but a lot of rain ahead of it.
Yeah.
Lots.
We also have that storm that is, see that storm counter between Pond Creek and Salt Fork, the next supercell on up?
Yes.
Yeah, zoom into that little spot there too. There's also a little notch there, as you can see, kind of right where your mouse is. Let's see what it looks like. That looks like on velocity, because that would be potentially something interesting too to see. Let's try storm relative to see if anything pops up there.
Okay.
And maybe a little bit of something's trying to get
Little
going there
tiny
too.
bit.
So another area to watch out for. The current time is 8:12, so obviously we are now going. Oh yeah, there you go. You
There is some rotation,
rotation. So this is now, as we've going now into the evening hours, what we call the low-level jet is starting to pick up. In fact, here at the station, the winds have picked up within the past couple of minutes, going through our TV antenna. And usually at the surface, it's been windy most of today, but that wind is probably increasing significantly, just 100 to 200 feet higher off the ground. And that's going to really aid in that tornado potential for the remainder of the evening hours. So there might be more issues going forward that we have to watch out for.
Yes, and let me take us
we'll go back to Newkirk's one.
here to this tornado warning here in Kay County. There's multiple areas of some stronger rotation in and around Newkirk. Let me show you a little bit more on the reflectivity here. Okay, so we are currently tracking this in and around Newkirk. So if you are in Newkirk, anywhere in this area, you are in your tornado shelters. You are prepared for this possible tornado that is in and around your region. Let's see how it's looking up here with the newest scan. Still seeing some strong rotation. Even with the newest scan, still seeing some strong rotation right about there on the southern parts of Newkirk here, Jack, if you could see.
Yeah.
Closer to Dry Road, East Dry Road, closer to East Dry Road and North Prentice Road here, the intersection.
We're probably about to see with the Enid storm, we're probably about to see that actually go, potentially confirms tornado. If you go to velocity, specifically the storm relative velocity on the storm that's in Enid, again, the area of rotation over Newkirk is very broad. That over Enid and again right by Vance has really tightened up right there. So there you go. Yep, Garrett went
just
confirmed.
now.
So confirmed tornado now, basically essentially on the Air Force Base essentially right now, about to cross over Highway 81. And again, you can see that Meadow Lake Park is in this, Enid is in this, Shea is also in this too. So we have a confirmed tornado warning now until 8:45 for Garfield County right now. This storm is still moving northeast, I think about 20 miles an hour. Let me get the track on that and on the speed on that camera, and then I will get you that. We are looking at the threat there to be also with a very large area of large hail to 25 miles an hour.
25, yes,
Yep.
correct.
So again, need to make sure that we're again taking our precautions in the Enid area. We got a confirmed tornado on the south side of town. Confirmed tornado basically right by Vance Air Force Base, and moving 25 miles an hour to the northeast. So that would put Enid in play. That would put Shea in play. Again, we need to make sure that we are taking this very seriously this evening. We have another confirmed tornado warning basically right over the Air Force Base, and technically maybe that just south side of the Air Force Base would be where it actually would be. We are talking just to the west of Highway 81 where it becomes Van Buren Street. Again, right around the Wheat Capital Road, right around there
Extreme
too.
rotation,
Yeah,
too.
extreme rotation showing up there just again on the south side of the base. So we need to make sure that we're taking our precautions. Get down to the lowest level. We've got this thing confirmed. What does it look like with our debris there, Conrad? To see if we can. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so oh man, it's over the base too. So
Right
again,
over it.
confirmed tornado over Vance Air Force Base right now. So again, need to make sure that we are in our tornado shelter, taking our precautions right now. Dangerous situation unfolding right now over Vance as this is making its way to the east-northeast about 25 miles an hour. About to be crossing over Van Buren Street, which is Highway 81, within the next minute or so. Got that new scan right there. And so this would be taking it on the south side of Enid, and also to the east side of Enid as well. We'll be moving in that direction towards Shea along Highway 412. And Etna is also going to show up there too. Again, confirmed tornado right now on the ground, making its way over Vance currently, and then eventually towards Shea 833, Etna at 837, Fairmont at 842, and Breckenridge at 843.
Yeah, it is. It looks like it's just right over Vance Air Force Base right now.
Let's see
Let me
that.
put on the shear rate.
Right over it.
Extreme rotation here.
Yep. What does it look like on debris again?
Okay. Right over
Yep, it's
it.
right over it too. So again,
Especially the southern parts of it.
Yep, right on the southern side of the base there. So again, right there, the tornado would be on Wheat Capital Road, just on the property of Vance, and then south of all the runways and things like that. So again, dangerous situation ongoing right now within Garfield County. Our second confirmed tornado warning so far of the evening. This continues until 8:45 as it moves out to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour. So in and around the Vance Air Force Base, if you live there, the south side of Enid, you need to make sure that we're, again, in our shelter now, in our safe spot now, away from the windows and on that lowest level now. That way that you can get to shelter and stay safe out there. Again, the reflectivity, you've got the good-looking classic notch there that shows up there with that hook echo. You got the velocity showing that couplet right over the base. So again, everything is lining up to where it should be tornado-wise for there to be this ongoing situation, again, on the base property, essentially.
and still seeing some very gusty winds here as well,
Yeah.
Jack. So, you know, it's the middle of the week. There was most likely some trainings or anything going on closer, you know, to this Air Force base. Hopefully everybody was prepared for this severe event, because we are seeing this tornado warning, confirmed tornado warning in and around Vance currently right now. So if you are around Vance Air Force Base, now is your time to be in your tornado shelter. We are currently seeing extreme areas of a rotation here.
Yeah.
Look at the newest scan here, Jack.
Passing right over the base.
Right over the base.
Right over the base. So again, need to make sure that we are taking our precautions. Need to make sure that we're taking our precautions. Again, it looks impressive from our rotation. Let's go back to what it looks like on our debris tracker.
Okay.
Because again, yeah, it's still bad. Do this, Conrad. Take the little measuring tool and just go from one side of that blue to the other side,
Okay.
to see how long that is. Yeah, so we are talking a area of debris. Now the radar is a little farther away, so it's gonna be higher up, but we're talking about an over a mile wide area of debris. So this could be, again, a large tornado on the ground right over the base, and on the south side of the base, south side of Enid, making its way northeastward, east-northeastward at about 20 miles per hour. That tornado is probably right now over or about to get very close there to Highway 81 there, or in Van Buren Street in Enid. Again, dangerous situation unfolding right now within Garfield County. Please be sure that you are in your shelter now. If you've been calling out your names now for the past about 10-15 minutes, hopefully you are down in your shelter. Again, you can see there's a large area of debris. Rotation is extreme right over the base right now, just right over the base.
Right over the base.
And
Yep.
so again, this is a dangerous situation ongoing, folks. So again, please be sure that we are taking our precautions. We've noticing that these storms have been moving, you know, fairly slow. They're not fast movers, which is good. But as you can see with our reflectivity, there's actually what we call the debris ball there. So see how the reflectivity picks up with the colors, with the pinks that show up there just to the east of the Vance Air Force Base. That right there is actually picking up in the reflectivity because there's just stuff. That's the debris that's showing up there. So very dangerous situation. It's basically now along and north of Wheat Capitol Road, and basically is now almost crossed over Highway 81. So it's now almost off the base at this point. The area of rotation is still big, maybe slightly down, but I mean, it is still strong rotation, and it's a big area of strong rotation. So again, dangerous storm, ongoing tornado on the ground, heading now towards, at this point, the area is so big, the Leona Mitchell Boulevard, and generally along and north of Wheat Capitol Road is where this is. But again, this is by the base, south side of Enid. We need to make sure that we are taking this extremely seriously, because this is a very dangerous storm.
Yes, and it looks like the strongest rotation as of right now with the newest scan is on the eastern parts of Vance Air Force Base. You know, if you are still in this base, you are in your shelter right now. We're still seeing areas of strong, extreme rotation as well, and a wide area of weak rotation. Okay, did you see that newest scan here coming in, Jack?
Yep, so tighten back up again.
It did.
Let's see what it looks like on our velocity, because that's going to be looking.
Just circle this one area here.
Yeah.
Real quick.
So again, very dangerous situation ongoing here, people, with this tornado warning in this part of Enid. Yeah, it's right there. So it's again,
Correct.
it's now the tornado is now crossed over Highway 81. Is no longer directly on the base anymore. It's just to the east of the base, but it's moving off to the east northeast. But the south side of Enid and the southeastern side of Enid need to make sure that we are taking our tornado precautions. You know, downtown, you are a little farther north of where this is right now by a few miles, but you're not that far away. So south side of Enid, if you live there, you need to make sure that we're taking our precautions. Get down to your shelter, get down to your lowest level, away from the windows. Again, very, very dangerous storm ongoing with the tornado warning. Let's see what it looks like with the debris again, Conrad, just to show people what that looks like. Still there. So again, that area of debris is making its way towards, now at this point, Leona Mitchell Boulevard, and it would be now at this point approaching East Southgate Road. But there is a tornado as it goes over Vance, and now at this point you can kind of, if you zoom out, Conrad, keep the lapse going, but zoom out a little bit.
Okay, I just wanted to mention it's about to head towards the intersection of East Southgate Road and South 30th Road right now.
Okay, yeah, because it's,
Zoom out.
you can kind of, if you zoom out, you can kind of see that it's now making a bit more of a northern turn a little bit. Maybe you probably zoomed out a little bit too much, but yeah, so there it is there, going over the base. and it's now broadening out that area of debris, but you've got also strong winds too, so it's again heading in that east-northeast direction. So again, need to make sure that we're taking our precautions. South side of Enid, southeast side of Enid, Shea. We've been calling your names out for a while now. Need to make sure that we're again taking our precautions and getting down to that lowest level of your house or of your business, away from the windows, because again, this is an extremely dangerous storm that is ongoing right now.
Yeah, and starting to see a little bit bigger hail size.
Yeah.
Here, we're picking up 2-inch plus hail. And that's exactly what we're actually seeing
So
with
you've
the
got
storm right
now,
now.
Connor, you see how this is now turning into not the purple box, but it's now the pink box.
Yes.
With a tornado emergency right now. So again, tornado emergency for the Enid area, south side of Enid, heading towards Shea. This goes until 8:45. So we have now ratcheted things up drastically with the severity of this storm. Let's go back to the debris, Conrad, because that debris area is, I think, probably where we're going to be looking at that now for a long time. There it is right there. It's now crossed Highway 81. It's broadened out a lot of bit, so there's a lot of debris that's even extending back over the base. It very well could be that stuff got sucked up and now it is just falling down. So there very well could be some debris raining down across the Air Force Base even after the storm has passed it by. So we have a tornado emergency for Garfield County until 8:45. Again, dangerous situation with this. There is that new area there of our debris,
Oh, wow.
showing that how big that is.
large.
So again, it's heading towards Shea. It's going to be the south side of Enid, the southeast side of Enid. We need to make sure that we are taking our precautions as it's making its way to the northeast a little bit more with this latest jog with the debris area there. This is the whole area that we're watching out for east of Highway 81. It's Van Buren Street in Enid. That is where that debris is there. Large ongoing tornado as it's making its way to the northeast.
Yeah, you can see this wide area of debris here, a wide area. We don't see emergency tornado warnings often, Jack.
Nope,
So
very rare, very rare.
Exactly, yes, and we are seeing a very large tornado with this one as of right now.
Yeah.
Tracking east around 20 miles per hour as of right now. It looks like the tornado is to the east of Vance Air Force Base, and we're seeing this wide area here of just debris all over the area too.
Man, see what it looks like on our velocity, because it's going to also show, very, very intense area of velocity.
Clear area, very clear indication that we are getting some strong rotation here as well. Let's see at the shear rate. Still seeing extreme rotation here on many of these areas. Let me zoom in a little bit closer. Okay, newest scan, still seeing some strong rotation, some extreme rotation in and around some of these areas. Zooming in a little bit more. We're getting close to, still getting closer to that intersection of East-South Gate Road and South 30th Street here. So we're about to get to that intersection here, East-South Gate Road and South 30th Street. About to get in on a little bit more of where this tornado could be right now, but it does look like a wide area of some strong and extreme rotation here, Jack.
Just incredible there. So again, folks need to make sure that we are taking our precautions there. Again, dangerous storm. We have the tornado emergency there for Enid, and it goes until 8:45. Again, this is because of the fact that this storm has legitimately a debris ball there on the south side of Enid, just over the Vance Air Force Base. We've got a large swath of debris that's been able to be picked up there, and that's right there, again, east of Highway 81. We've got, I can do it over on my side. We've got basically there an area of debris that's about 2 miles wide.
Yes.
When you look at the distance tool there. So again,
So it goes even further than 2 miles here, Jack.
yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. Like, there might very well could be where it got lofted up into the sky, and now it's the radar's picking back up on it again, and it's like on the back side of the storm. So, but the core itself would be this zone right here. Yeah, so it's about two and a half mile wide, maybe even 3 mile wide area of debris showing up there with this tornado. Again, dangerous tornado moving on through the south side of Enid right now, moving off to the northeast. And you've got, again, large areas there of strong and even pockets of extreme rotation showing up there. So, again, dangerous
areas
situation.
now, Jack, yeah?
Yeah, dangerous situation. Again, also on the east side of Enid, too, as you can see. It's heading towards Shea, heading towards Highway 412. I've got potentially 2 areas of rotation. Definitely, though, the one that we're watching out for is south of 412, but even north of there, there is also that potential there, too, that there might be something trying to get going in that part of the storm.
And the areas of strong rotation that we are currently seeing, it is east of Enid High School right now. So that is a good sign there.
Yeah.
But it is in and around North Oklahoma College here where we are seeing this strong area of rotation right now.
Yeah, yeah. So just a very, very dangerous situation ongoing. It's going to be
the reflectivity. Okay, on the back side of this. Let's go on velocity. Not as tight as, just to the east of Vance Air Force Base here.
Yeah,
Let's see how this is coming up. Okay, yep, perfect area. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is exactly where we're looking at, exactly where things are lining up, where we are seeing the strong area of rotation. We are seeing, a little bit more of the tightening up here on the velocity here. So we are getting that clear indication that we are seeing this area of some strong rotation here and possibly a large tornado.
Yep. So we're still looking at it again. The chance this tornado is a large tornado.
Large,
It lofted
correct.
the debris over 15,000 feet into the air. So when we were looking at the debris tracker, that's why it looks like it was so spread out. It's because it lofted it so high that I think there's stuff coming out of the storm behind it that was being held up in the updraft and is now coming back down. Just a tremendously dangerous situation here. Again, a tornado emergency ongoing now for Garfield County. Again, the areas that we need to be watching out for are, again, on the south side of Enid towards Shea. These are the areas that we need to be very much in Etna. We've been calling your name out also for a while now, too. Fairmount. We've been calling your name out now for a while, but we need to make sure that we are still in our safe spot, especially when we have tornado emergency in the vocabulary there. That is a term that is used only for the worst of the worst. So we've got a big time situation happening right now. Again, from Vance Air Force Base through the south side of Enid, that's been really where our area of, unfortunately, catastrophic damage has occurred in this area.
Yeah, like you were saying, Jack, it doesn't happen often at all that we get an emergency tornado warning. So we are seeing a pretty rare, sign here. It's a pretty rare thing that does not happen often with an emergency tornado warning. So we are all prepared. Everything is going to be okay, but we have to prepare for this. We have to evacuate. We have to make sure everybody around is in your, storm shelter, lowest level of your property, away from windows, away from doors, and we are here. We are going to continue to track this. We will make sure we are continuing to stay on top of this every second. But overall, the newest scans coming in, Jack, and still seeing strong areas of rotation here.
Yeah.
And it looks like it is in between, south. Let's see. Let me zoom in a
10th
little bit
and South
closer
30th
here.
right there on East Southgate.
On East Southgate Road, correct. Coming closer to that intersection here of South 30th Street and East Southgate Road right now.
Let's see what debris looks like on there in that same zone. So it's broadened out quite a bit. Not saying that the tornado is probably still on the ground, and if not, it's just left behind a lot of debris because, like I said, it got lofted up so high. Let's see what it looks like, though, on velocity. That may give us a better picture of where the area of rotation is. So it's still right there. Yeah, so we are
Right
still in
there.
the right spot. Again, the tornado will be heading towards South 30th Street right now. And then we are also watching out still, too, for we do have a new tornado warning that's up in Kay County. We'll jump to that real quickly just to make sure that people know on that one. We do have that one. That's a new tornado warning there. It passed through Newkirk. That one goes until 9 o'clock. So that one is also still continues to be tornado warned right now as this makes its way now. But at this point, it's almost now to Call Lake, which will then put it into Osage County and then out of our area. So we will still keep an eye out for that. But right now, that one is approaching the edge of our viewing area. And clearly, with our tornado emergency, that remains to be where our area of most main focus has to be on right now.
Yeah, with this northern tornado warning, Jack, in and around Newkirk, still seeing multiple areas of weaker rotation, but that one is not a confirmed tornado anymore. What we are really tracking here also is the two areas where tornadoes are currently, here coming up here on the radar. With this emergency tornado warning, a rare occasion here. We don't see this often at all.
No. They invented it down here, but they very rarely use it because we want to make sure that we only use it in the rarest of circumstances, which just shows you how serious the situation is. So again, the eastern, kind of southeastern side of Enid, east side of Enid, we are in our shelter right now, or our safe spot, Shea, as well as Etna, Fairmont, Breckenridge, all these areas within the polygon within Garfield County, you are under this tornado emergency. And so you need to make sure that we are doing this very quickly, getting to where we need to go, our shelter, our safe spot, down at the lowest level, away from the windows. Don't forget your shoes. As you can see, we're looking at our reflectivity to kind of get stretched out a little bit more, which is a bit of a good sign. Does show us that it might be kind of on a downward trend a little bit, but the area of inflow is quite big still, and we are still looking at that tornado to still be possible going forward. Again, there's a few areas of rotation that are now starting to show up, and when that typically does happen, it might mean that we are looking at this to be kind of cycling through a little bit. So the storm is trying to get its bearings and get going again. We might be looking at a couple areas to watch out for down the line. But again, the tornado emergency continues until 8:45. Again, dangerous situation ongoing within Garfield County right now.
Yeah, and seeing multiple areas of weak to even strong rotation here.
Yeah.
I just circled it right there. That is inside of this emergency tornado warning we're currently seeing. So multiple areas of some rotation showing up here, and you could see that there, and even behind it as well, outside of the actual emergency tornado warning, still seeing areas of some strong rotation. So multiple areas of strong rotation here. So Jack, there might actually be more than one tornado with this, currently seeing. Let me go on the, seeing a debris tracker here. Could see a lot of areas seeing a lot more of the dust and debris getting picked up here.
Yeah, and if anything, it might just be because the fact that it did so much damage that a lot of that just actual debris itself is not coming back down. So it's not being held within the tornado or the updraft anymore. It's now spread out in the actual supercell cloud and potentially has been coming out and falling out of it, which is a lot of times what you have here. So that might be why that area of debris looks to be so big. And also, it's not the circle that we typically would see like we had just a little bit ago. But again, this is still a dangerous storm moving on through Garfield County right now. Please be sure that we are taking our precautions right now. If you can get to a sturdy shelter and you're in a sturdy building right now, you're going to be okay, but you got to do that now because, again, it's going to be still a long go of things until it's out of there. That base velocity still does show you, again, on that southeast side of Enid, right there on East Rupee Avenue and South 30th Street, right there, heading towards South 42nd and then south of East Market Street. That's really where we have to watch out for, kind of on your southeastern side and eastern side of Enid is where we have to watch out for that tornado. Again, right there, as we take a look at our velocity, it would be right there.
Yeah, and it looks like it's heading, it's heading just to the east right now. It's heading east towards Shea. It's heading, it looks like a little bit more northeast. Yeah. But Shea, you are just to the east right now of where this tornado is right now. So you are currently, you're prepared. You are definitely going to that shelter right now. You are, currently taking this very, very seriously because it looks like this tornado possibly just to the, newest scan just came in, Jack. Still looks like it's a little bit more to the west of Shea right now.
Yeah, if you zoom out a little bit, stay right there on the velocity, but zoom out, you can see that there's just a big area of rotation in general. Now, what might be happening is that we might be getting what we call the occlusion stage, where there's the big area of circulation that the tornado is riding along, and when you get it on the north side of that like it is right now, it might begin to kind of cycle through and weaken before you get a new area that's able to pop back up. So we might be looking at the tornado itself kind of rotating around the actual area of rotation itself. Where that little area is kind of where that little appendage is with that area of rotation that is being depicted there on our detector. Again, just on that southeastern side and the eastern side of Enid. So that's the zone to watch out for. But this is a big supercell thunderstorm, huge area of hail as well. And again, just a we've seen a lot of damage. We know right now, at least based on the radar, where this is a big tornado. So again, it remains still a very strong storm, and it will likely still have that tornado on the ground right now. We are continuing to have that tornado emergency until 8:45 for Garfield County.
Yeah, still seeing some pretty tight velocity here, you know, with the red and the green coming in together just to the west of Shea right now with the newest scans here. Let's see on our time lapse. Okay, so I'm going back around 15 minutes.
Yep, so there it is, and then we're kind of watching it there, and then it's still showing up there. It's a little bit more broadened out, but I still think that we still have an issue there to contend with, but it is kind of might be occluding where it gets on that northern side of the area of rotation, and then it kind of just fizzles out in that same spot, which is why the past radar scans have kind of kept that area right in that same intersection. So it's a smaller area of rotation that you can see right now. It's still showing up as strong, but it's a lot smaller now at this point too, and it's kind of on the northern side of this whole area of rotation that we've been tracking.
Yeah, and now showing up, Jack, here with the newest scan here, a strong area of rotation, exactly where we were just looking at here. You could see the velocity, you know, wherever you start seeing the green, the red colors here coming together, a little bit more closer together. It is on the backside, so we're seeing a lot of that rain, the heavier rain, the thunderstorms. You know, we're starting to see the hail, a little bit more of the wind, and then on the backside is where the actual tornado is right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be rain wrapped, but again, that's why this is very dangerous. Again, tornado emergency. These are extremely rare, and the fact now that we still have one for the next 7 minutes, and we are still noticing too that this might be now rain wrapped, makes this still a storm that is very dangerous. So the east side of Enid, southeast side of Enid, Shea, we are in our shelters right now, the Etna area, Breckenridge, we are in our shelters, we are in our safe spots, away from the windows, at that lowest level. If you're in a sturdy building and you know where to go, you're going to be okay, but you got to do that quickly. But I do think, though, that this storm is kind of coming down a bit in intensity, which is fantastic news. But this is a big storm. This is a big tornado that came through Vance and the southern side of Enid.
And it kind of looks a little bit more stationary, Jack. Even with this newest scan, it just barely moved. So still seeing, you know, this stronger area of rotation just kind of sitting in and around that intersection of East Rupee Avenue and South 42nd Street here, Jack.
Yeah. And you know, when that does happen, it might mean that it's kind of occluding out and it may fizzle out a little bit. It may also mean that it's trying to potentially get itself re-anchored again and get going again. That could also be an issue that we have to watch out for too. So again, major damage in Garfield County associated with this storm.
Let's see the debris now. Okay, still seeing, you know, a little bit of that dust, that debris getting picked up as well. Yeah,
and that might just be all the leftovers of that storm. Because again, it was quite. I mean, we had the tornado emergency. That was a dangerous storm, and so there's probably going to be actually a lot of debris that shows up on the tracker, even after the overall storm has weakened a little bit more, because all that debris that got lofted, it's got to come down.
Yeah, Jack, so we did just see, you know, of course, that emergency tornado warning. The tornado that did pass by just, you know, Vance Air Force Base not that long ago. Look what we're seeing here now. We're seeing another piece of the storm coming in, you know, in Vance Air Force Base, just south of the base. We're seeing some large hail. We're talking, you know, close to 3 inches.
Now that's another big hail core there that we're noticing there too. Go to reflectivity, see what it's doing there with that. So it's a storm that's kind of already passed through the area. And so,
backside.
So there's going to be also the chance for some large. I mean, all these storms have had the chance for large hail in general, but again, major damage has occurred within Garfield County, from basically right over Vance Air Force Base, the south side of Enid, southeast side of Enid. We have 4 more minutes left of our tornado emergency. Counted, if you click out of that polygon, go to the bigger confirm. Okay, so these both come to an end at 8:45.
Correct, yes.
So we'll get a new update here in the next few minutes about these storms. And I can't imagine that we would totally lose the tornado warning, but it's just clearly a lot more messy looking on the reflectivity now than what it looked like earlier on. We also have our tornado warning within Kay County too. That one is now over rural Kay County, heading, at this point now, it's basically on Call Lake, making its way into Osage County, into Green Country. So you've got just a little bit of time left there. Cooper, Lyman, and the Washunga area, that would be it. Yeah, right, that new scan is coming on in. Just a small little section there of K County, kind of just in between the lake, basically, is where we have that area of rotation for that possible tornado. But thankfully, that one looks to be significantly weaker than what it looked like earlier on. Again, not confirmed, and that's good news there, but still some rotation showing up. But it's almost over the lake, which will then put it into Osage County and then out of our viewing area.
Correct, and still seeing, a little bit, of these green and reds showing up here on the base velocity, still giving us a little bit more of that indication of some rotation. But the shear rate here is on the weaker side, which means we are seeing weak areas of rotation, not quite as intense or, as strong of rotation as much earlier, but still seeing this area here of the possible tornado that we're currently seeing here in K County.
So we're almost done with that one, which is good.
Correct.
So we'll go back down to our Garfield County storm. So even as Conrad has that rotation detector up right now, you can see that we are, looks like we got a...
It looks like we did. Okay.
So
confirmed tornado
9:30
warning.
still, 9:30 confirmed tornado warning.
Let me look at the details here.
Yeah, I'll poke over here in that too, because we're still probably looking at it to be on the ground to have that confirmed tornado tag on it. But we're going to reissue it and only do considerable tag and remove the tornado emergency. It's still on the ground at this time. So we still have one on the ground. It is weakened out significantly, which is good. But it is still, it's definitely not as damaging as it was earlier on, but there is still a tornado on the ground, which is why this continues to be confirmed until 9:30.
Yep, and reading a little bit of details here on this, Jack, real quick. So with the new details that just came in here, it's a confirmed tornado warning in effect here until 9:30 p.m. time frame. It looks like it is located 4 miles southeast of Enid, moving east at 15 miles per hour. Currently tracking this confirmed tornado warning. Hail size getting close to 2 inches, but not quite there, around 1 3/4 inches when it comes to that hail diameter size. But in and around these areas like Enid, Breckenridge, and Fairmont as well.
Yeah, let's take a look at velocity, and then we'll do a track on that. Because you said, what, 25 miles an hour you said still?
It is moving right now at, let me see, no, it was at 15.
Okay, so it's slow, and it's good and bad. You have a lot of time then to get to where you need to go, but when it's slow like that, it does mean that we're probably still looking at that to be maybe trying to strengthen back up again. You can see there is that area of rotation just off to the east or to the west of Shea, right where Conrad's mouse is, right there. That's going to be our area to watch out for. That's where we have our tornado warning that will continue now until this was going to cycle through, so we're going to lose these polygons here in just a few seconds. But Shea, Etna, Breckenridge, Cropper, Fairmont, you guys need to make sure that we are taking our precautions. There we go. So that's going to be our area to watch out for. Yep, so we'll go at 15 miles an hour. So slow moving storm. So you do have some time to make your way down to your shelter or to your safe spot, but you're still, though, looking at this to be a dangerous storm. It's still a tornado on the ground, and we need to make sure that we are in our precautions. So again, your tornado shelter or taking your precautions to go to your safe spot in Shea. Arrival time at 8:51, Etna at 8:59, Breckenridge at 9:08, and then Fairmont at 9:09. This would again be tracking just kind of south of Highway 412 for a little bit here, but it's right now basically right there at that East Rupee Avenue and South 42nd, passing east from there. And looks like you've got potentially the Enid Woodring Municipal Road showing up there, and right by Shea. That's going to be your next area to watch out for. So again, going to be heading towards Shea, heading towards Highway 412 here in a little bit. That rotation is still showing up as strong, and it's a small area too, so it might be slightly more organized now at this point than what it was just a little bit ago, like 5 minutes ago. So it might be trying to cycle back up again with this one. So again, dangerous storm making its way towards Shea.
Yeah, let's see when, okay, so it looks like the hail is going to be closer to 2+ inches in a few spots.
Yeah.
The winds aren't getting picked up here, as accurately, but we are starting to see a little bit larger hail popping up here as well. Okay, yeah, even 2+ inches in many locations. But overall, though, on the reflectivity, you could clearly see it just to the west of Shea right now. Currently seeing the shear rate popping up here as strong. So we are currently seeing that strong rotation here just to the west of Shea. Let me put on. Oh wow, okay, newest scan here, Jack. Looks like it just looks like a little bit weaker now. Now we're getting a little bit weak rotation here instead of some stronger rotation
Yeah.
with this.
But it's still, we're still going to watch it right there, just because, again, it's on the velocity. It still shows up there, right there by that 42nd Street and very close to Highway 412, kind of south of Highway 412, right there by the Shea. Right there is where it would be there.
Let's see on the hail tracker. Okay, maybe not the largest tracker for the hail here, but we are tracking some debris getting picked up as well, but more so just a weak rotation in and around okay, so not quite seeing
Yeah,
as
like
tight
it's-
velocity.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, there's, from what it looks like, there's still eyes on it where there still is. It's on the ground still.
Yes.
But it is looking to be a little bit more ragged and not as impressive looking anymore. But it still is on the ground, and we've seen it cycle now a number of times. But the Shea area, we need to make sure that we are taking our tornado precautions on the east side of Enid, Etna, Breckenridge, Cropper, and really though, as it's making its way towards Highway 412. If you have anybody who needs to be traveling, east of Enid tonight and using 412, just hold off and just wait a minute for this storm to pass through your area, because we don't want to be doing anything now, because now it is almost, it's 8:49 at this point, so it is now significantly darker, and there's a very good chance that this might be rain wrapped too. So there's maybe a few more spots of rotation that we're trying to pick up on as well. Again, southwest of Etna. That might be another area to watch out for. South 78th Street, right there, where count is going to circle.
Let me maybe circle this area here, and let's see how it's coming up here on the phase velocity.
Yeah, so there's some area there that it might be present, but again, still though, we need to make sure that we're taking our precautions in this area, because we know that this has been a storm that has produced. It had the word catastrophic with the damage on the warning when it was the tornado emergency not that long ago. So we know that this storm is capable of producing a lot of damage. So we need to make sure that we are taking our precautions seriously there. Again, southwest of Etna by about a mile or so, you can see that that's where we have that area of rotation showing up. And it's a little bit weaker by Shea, where we kind of think that the actual main storm was. But arrival time there, about 15 miles an hour. Puts it at 8:52 arrival time in Etna, Fairmount at 9:01, and then Cropper at 9:15 tonight with the storm, if it keeps on its current track and its current speed.
Yep, and with these new updates coming on in, still seeing this tornado on the ground here, where we are currently circling for, pretty much the intersection of East Southgate Road and South 78th Street, right around there as well, is where we are seeing some of that strong rotation currently, even with this newest scan coming on in, where this cone is showing the 15-minute tracker out. Overall, though, 15 miles per hour heading, closer to Cropper, like we were just talking about, closer to 9:15 p.m., but you still want to make sure you are well prepared, you are on alert, you are in that lowest place in your property, in that tornado shelter, away from windows, away from doorways as well. We just got a severe thunderstorm warning extended with this.
Yeah, so we've got, for big hail with it too, golf ball sized hail with this storm. So it's still able to produce large hail with this. The tornado warning itself is now, if you zoom out a little bit more, counted, you'll see that the tornado warning itself is kind of in a weird backside of the tornado warning of this supercell itself. Now you can still see that little area of inflow right there by Highway 412, right there over the word Shea.
Yes.
That's where that little area is on the reflectivity, but it's on a weird side on the back side of that storm. So that's some good news in the fact that it usually can't go on for that much longer where that is. So we might be looking at this one to be winding down slowly with time. But large hail also a possibility with this. As you can see, there's just a lot of area just picking up a lot of heavy rain with that hail core there over Etna, Fairmont, and Cropper. Again, our product's not exactly been the best at picking up at the hail size today, but it is, again, showing you that there is a large area that can be picking up some large hail up to the size of, maybe up to 2 inches, but probably closer to about 1.5 inches or so.
It is starting to pick up the hail a little bit better now.
Yeah.
But not quite picking up the wind gusts as much, showing up as 58-mile-per-hour winds, and now that just disappeared here with the newest scan. So, I mean, it does look like it's weakening a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is a good sign.
So we've got that,
shear
which is
rate.
good. The shear, there's little pockets there that are showing up. In fact, you've got more shear that shows up south
More
of there.
south now, yeah.
Yeah, and go to the reflectivity where that is, and you'll see that we've got.
Here, let me maybe highlight this here real quick. Okay, and now let's go to reflectivity.
Yeah, so that would be kind of more on your leading edge. That would be more in your typical spot to actually get something tornado-wise. So if there might be some new areas of development, it might be potentially where we got, especially the bigger circle that Conrad had there too. So that might be the new spot to watch out for if we're able to get some new additional development out there. But again, the storm itself still has that tornado warning on it, and that does go until 9:30 this evening.
Yeah, we'll see if the National Weather Service issues a tornado warning when it comes to this right here.
I think
Just
that
to the south.
I think they did issue a new tornado
Did they?
warning.
Okay, I would not be surprised at all.
And I think it lost.
see.
Yeah, it's a base warning now, so it's lost the confirmed
Did it?
tag.
Okay.
Yeah, it's lost a confirmed tag, which is
We'll
good.
see what that update when it comes in here.
It's actually it's in right now. You can kind of see there's that little box that's showing up over the same locations basically.
Right
yeah,
there.
right there. Yep.
9:30.
So yeah, until 9:30. So we've lost the confirmed tag on that tornado, which is good. That really is. This tornado warning is probably going to expire probably before 9:30. Based on this current track that it's on. But there, it doesn't say, I'm not saying that there's going to be no more tornado warnings with this storm. It just might be not in this part of it because as we go to reflectivity, you'll see that with Conrad going to that, you'll see that it's on the back side of it. It's kind of in a weird spot for that tornado warning to continue to go on. So it's there because it was such a big tornado, such a big supercell. It's got to wind down slowly. But I do think, though, that it's on the now improper side to continue to go on for a lot longer. I don't think we're going to be looking at it to go for the duration of the 9:30 warning.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that, Jack, here. Current shear rate not showing up as much of a strong rotation in and around these regions, in and around, Shea and Etna as well. But south of this area, Jack, now we're getting these, couple areas of some strong rotation. So we'll see if anything actually intensifies with this here to the south. But right now, like you were saying, okay, new update just came in. Seeing a little bit more of a wider area of some strong rotation here. Let me get that just kind of highlighted for us. And now with the reflectivity, okay, you can see possible notch here as well. Let's see some base velocity. We are seeing a little bit of the winds coming towards and away from the radar once again. And
yeah, debris-wise, you've got some little pockets that are showing up there, but I think what that would really be would be just some gusty winds.
Mm-hmm. Yes, hopefully that is going to continue to stay the case here. But
Conrad, I'm going to change my batteries out, so just take over for a second as I swap out my batteries.
Okay, yes, correct. So currently our time is 8:56 p.m. time frame here. I'm meteorologist Conrad Spinski here with my chief meteorologist as well, Jack Gerfin. We are continuing to track this tornado warning in effect here till 9:30 p.m. time frame in Garfield County. We are continuing to track this tornado warning. It is looking like it is starting to weaken here for us, which is a good sign. We'll see what happens here. But overall, though, it is moving east around 15 miles per hour. Hail size around golf ball size, so not quite 2 inches, a little bit under that criteria. But overall, though, still looking at a little bit more damaging hail, some gusty winds, and still seeing this tornado warning here. Not a confirmed tornado, but now a tornado warning, so we're not quite getting eyes on it right now. But doesn't mean it's not on the ground. It could still be on the ground. There's still a lot of rain around it. It is nighttime. It is a nocturnal storm as well, so that makes it even harder to actually get eyes on a tornado if it is actually out there right now. But overall, though, it is moving east at around 15 miles per hour and still seeing golf ball sized hail with this tornado warning here. But it does look like rotation has significantly weakened, and it looks like it's heading in the better direction, in the direction of just weakening overall, though, here in and around these regions like Etna and Fairmont as well. Let's see the shear rate. So it is weakening, still weakening. The weak areas of rotation here that were popping up now, a good amount of them are gone, but now we turn our attention a little bit more south as well now. There is a couple of areas here of some strong rotation. You could see that just to the west of Douglas here.
Yeah, and I'm back on Conrad, and you can see that where he's looking at there, that's going to be along the proper spot to really have something going forward now at this point. So you've got a couple little notches that are trying to show up there right where Conrad's got the mouse. That's kind of where the area of rotation looks to be a bit stronger, which is why it's kind of showing up there, and it's really doesn't exist where the actual polygon is anymore for that tornado warning. If anything, though, in that tornado warning zone, you got that large hail potential and just some very heavy flooding rains that'll be out there. But you can really see now with our velocity, just a big push of wind coming out of that. So you could also be talking about that rear flank downdraft really accelerating out of that storm right now. And along the edge of that, where you have that little gap there between the reds and the greens, that would be where you'd have that some of that turbulence that builds up there, which is why some of that shear does show up as a little bit stronger at that point there. So that's the reason why we've got to watch out for that zone too, because something could briefly spin up in that part of our storm too.
Yep, and we are still tracking this, tornado warning. But overall, though, to the south is another area we are having our eyes on too. Even with this newest scan, still seeing some strong areas of rotation here. Let's see what it's showing up here with the debris. Not as much, but
nothing there. So that's good news there. But the blue that shows up outside of that, that's going to be a lot of the dust that's just being thrown around because of the strong winds. Back into the tornado warning area, you can see that again. It just doesn't match up where it needs to be. So I think we're going to probably lose that tornado warning before the time it expires at 9:30. Again, it does say that you've got the confirmed tornado warning with it, but we actually had. And we had that confirmed tornado warning with it, but now we've got that. Did we actually lose the polygon there? Kind of.
It looks like they canceled the tornado warning. They're just keeping it as a confirmed tornado warning now. Because we did have that tornado warning box that was just around it.
I see what they're doing. So that confirmed tornado warning, it can't get brought off the map fast enough. But current time is 9 o'clock right now, so you are watching the Fox 25 News at 9 o'clock. We do have that supercell that is now east of Enid that we've been tracking with the tornado warning on it. There we go. So actually, it was able to get pulled off there. So technically, if you zoom out now, there's no tornado warning now left over with this storm right now, but it does have a supercell characteristics, and it's got the chance for very large hail with it. And if we were to see a new tornado on it, it would be on the south side of it where Douglas is, very close to that. That would be about where you would have it, and possibly even another embedded area of rotation to the north of that. But if we were going to have a tornado warning come out again for that storm, it would not be where the old tornado warning was. It would be down closer to the bottom of the storm, just off to the west of Douglas by about 2 miles, as you can see there. Right now, no tornado warning currently, which is good news. Also, Conrad, if you go up to K County and you go just to regular velocity, you can see that that storm there has now moved into Osage County. So that tornado warning is now out of our viewing area and is now in Osage County, and that's Tulsa's viewing area market. So they are dealing with that storm now. They get that until 9:30. So we are actually out of tornado warnings right now currently in our viewing area. If you go to regular radar, Conrad, and you can see the Oklahoma City metro area has been dry. If you go to Frederick the radar. That storm down by Bray and into southern parts of Grady County and by Marlow, that storm was actually severe thunderstorm warned. I had watched that earlier on a while ago, and that was actually where we had Kathy situated. So our storm tracker, Kathy Brito, was out there watching that storm there because there was definitely an indication that that storm was going to keep on going and make its way towards Oklahoma City and potentially be causing a major issue for us. Right now, that storm has now weakened and is a lot smaller now at this point north of Marlow, which is good news. And so if we're going to be looking at any storms in the metro area this evening, it would be these storms coming in out of southwest Oklahoma. But thankfully, nothing has happened yet from those. And I think at this point now, that chance is pretty much gone at this point until we get to the overnight hours with more storms coming on down from the north. So let's go back to Vance and go back to our Enid storm, Conrad, and just kind of go back on that one. Again, 9:30 is where their severe thunderstorm warning goes until. So we've got, again, a large supercell, the one that produced catastrophic damage from Vance Air Force Base, the south side of Enid, southeast side of Enid, towards the Shea area. That was where we had that corridor there of catastrophic damage that occurred earlier on. And now we are tornado free right now, but we are still watching a few areas of rotation. If you could circle those, Conrad, or you're changing your batteries too, my apologies. But that's the area of rotation that he's got. If you can kind of circle those and then go to just regular radar, you'll see that those areas are generally, especially that southern one by Douglas there, that would be your new notch if we're going to get one. I'm not sure if anybody in my ear, production-wise or producer-wise, if you want me to keep on going with this as we get, okay. But we know that we have seen catastrophic damage in portions of Garfield County earlier on this evening with that tornado warned storm. Conrad, we can go for a little bit longer now. If you want to erase that and go to the debris and go back to put it as an hour lapse, and we'll just manually drive it through there. And if you just right click over that severe thunderstorm warning just to get rid of that box too, that way we can then just look at it and we can go back to kind of where things began there and just zoom in on the damage that we've had. So again,
so let's go closer to maybe Vance Air Force Base.
Yeah, right about there. Yeah.
Okay, let's go back here.
So here we go. It's about 8 o'clock. We get our tornado warning is about to form here in just a moment. There it goes with our tornado warning. And then you've got the debris is what we're watching right there. That's when the debris really begins to pick up there at about 8:15, 8:17 earlier on this evening was when the storm just absolutely that tornado touched down and did a lot of damage on the base, on the south side of the base. And then as you can see, as it crossed Highway 81, then it is a huge debris ball right there where we had a very wide area of debris that was being lofted into the air, over 15,000 feet into the air. And you can see just how wide this was. So we had a lot of damage being done to the Vance Air Force Base, south side of the base especially, and then as it moved just off to the east of Highway 81. And then the storm, because it was such a slow-moving tornado, was then likely slowly just carving its way northeastward on the southeast side of Enid towards Shea. And you got all this debris that's just being shown here. A lot of that was just being lofted into the air and then fell down once that tornado was kind of on its downward trend, where it then was able to just kind of fall down a little bit. And then now it probably would be picking up more of that debris from just dust and things like that with the strong winds. But earlier on, though, we had a wide area that we were able to measure of about 2 miles wide of damage with that tornado as it just crossed over Highway 81 there. So just to the east of Vance Air Force Base is where we were able to see that really large area of debris. So Conrad, go forward back in time a little bit.
Go forward?
Yeah, go forward and back up.
Back up, okay.
Sorry. Go to where it's like that debris ball was to the east of Vance. So if you need to start it,
east of Vance, okay.
if you need to start it back over again, but it was just a huge area of debris that right there
Right
was
there.
real. That's it right there. If
Yep,
you could,
right
if
there.
you could now use that distance tool to show how wide that is, you'll see that this is again yeah, go from like north to south.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're talking like a 2-mile wide area of debris with this tornado. This was a huge tornado that was on the ground, and it was able to produce a lot of damage and loft a lot of that into the air over 15,000 feet, and spread it out too. The tornado may not have been exactly all that wide, but I can't imagine it would be that much smaller than that. I think this was easily at least a mile-wide tornado that we had move on through the south side of Enid and just over Vance Air Force Base, and then really got wide right as it was just to the east of the Air Force Base.
Definitely a large tornado here, Jack. Another impressive thing I did realize here with this is, okay, so now at this time it is 8:12 p.m., right? We have a tornado warning at 8:14 p.m. A confirmed tornado came up, right? 8:14 p.m. And just 10 minutes later, it became an emergency tornado warning.
Yeah.
Very quickly intensified. Let me go back to right there. 9 minutes later, it intensified to, they put down an emergency tornado warning here, which is very rare.
Yeah, very, very rare.
Very rare.
So again, we know that we have a lot of damage in this area. I'm sure in the back, but if you guys can confirm, we've got crews that are on their way there. We got crews on our way there. And so we'll be definitely bringing you the latest on that as we get it. But this was, again, a major tornado that skirted the south side of Enid and into the southeast side of Enid. But right there by the base, we looked at just a tremendous amount of damage there. Now, Conrad, if you can go to current time, and we'll just go to just the radar, just to kind of show where everybody is with everything now. And now you can see that we've got just a large severe thunderstorm warning now making its way towards I-35 with that storm. It's still within Garfield County, and a little bit now is crossing over into Noble County. That continues until 9:30 for primarily now at this point mostly that hail threat, with a chance for some large hail out of this too. Does include small portions there of, as you can see, Kingfisher County and Logan County as well. But the storm itself remains primarily within Garfield County still. So again, still a huge storm itself. Now there are still some little pockets that we're watching out for. If you go to rotation, or velocity rather, you'll see that there's some strong winds with it coming out of there that's the gust front pushing out from there. But there might be still some spots that we have to watch out for down the line in the future that we may have to see. But right now, again, nothing imminent, which is good. But it's producing now potentially some very strong winds out of that storm as it's now, especially right by Douglas. I think that's right where your
right
rear flank downdraft is really kind of circling right around the Douglas area, bringing some strong winds to the area. If there's going to be a new spot to watch out for, it would be kind of right around there. But zoom out then again, Conrad, and you'll see that there's nothing south of that storm. That's our only storm that we have out there. And you get the metro, there's nothing there. And then you've got these little cells that are down south of the city. And those are by Rush Springs. And those were earlier warned. And you can see right there that it's actually kind of like a little split. If you go to turn on Twin Lakes radar, that'll give us a little bit of a better view there. And I know they're not really that big, but put on a velocity. We'll see that there might be a little bit in the way, some little bit in the way of some rotation there, very, very minor. You just kind of see the way that they're moving, but those thankfully are at least not anything. Now, earlier on today, the models had these storms, and these look to be a lot more impressive. Very impressive storms that we thought there could be developing in southwest Oklahoma and make their way to the northeast towards the metro area. Obviously, that did not happen, and most of our storms have stayed in the northern part of the state. And Conrad, if you could also just put on if you go to the national composite radar.
Okay.
So if you go to national and then radar.
U.S. radar, yep.
Yeah, then just then now zoom out to go into portions of Kansas too. You can see just how many storms are also now moving through Kansas. Earlier on, while we were focusing in on a lot of our storms in and around northern Oklahoma, there was actually a number of confirmed tornado warnings earlier on from like Wichita towards Salina and Manhattan, Kansas. Those have now kind of come down a little bit more, but there's been a number of tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings along this line as we've gone throughout the evening. Yeah, as you can kind of see with Connor going kind of slow with our storms there. Like, look at that huge confirmed
look at that
tornado
huge
polygon.
area, wow.
Yeah, from Emporia all the way to Wichita. So again, it just shows you that we obviously had it bad down here, but there was actually a better potential for tornadoes up farther to our north, and then those storms just continued onward. So
Even severe threats all the way up into Wisconsin,
yeah,
Jack.
all the way up into Wisconsin. So another big time day of severe weather across much of the region, including here in Oklahoma. We'll go back to just the regular radar closer to home and just kind of see what we got new update wise for our thunderstorms. I would imagine that we might be still having to kind of watch for our Garfield storm there because, you know, as you can see, it still has that classic hook echo shape with it on the radar, especially by Covington and Douglas within Garfield County.
Yes. I'm just trying to switch the radars here
Yeah.
real quick. Okay. All right. So now we're on the Vance here.
Yep. So there's still that area to watch out for with Garfield County, that we have that little notch there by Covington. So there still is some areas to watch out for when it comes to that.
Yeah, and Jack, with the newest scan here, we are seeing area of some stronger rotation in and around Douglas, like we were talking about not that long ago. Still seeing a strong area of rotation right now in and around Douglas. Let's put on velocity here. Okay, we are seeing color, you know, the red and the greens together, winds coming towards and away from the radar. We're seeing a little bit of a notch here and still seeing a bit more of the strong rotation popping up here as well. And of course, seeing a little bit more larger hail, maybe even a little bit of debris in that last scan here. Not quite seeing it right now, but let me go back 2 minutes.
Yeah, there might be some dust getting picked up there
Just a
because that
little
would
bit of
be
dust
that'd be
or
the
smaller
inflow
debris.
potentially right there, or even the rear flank downdraft kicking out some dust too as it does that. I've been told that we're going to go to a commercial break, so what we're going to do is we'll go to a break and we will be right back in just a few moments. So stay with us. You're watching the Fox 25 News at 9. Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. Yep, I just wanted to. Okay, that's good. That's fine. That's fine. Yep. Sure. Or do it like just like severe. Yeah, fifth through thunderstorm. 1 minute out. Okay. All right, so we're back again. We are in the newscast right now. We do not have a tornado warning within our viewing area. We do have them in Osage County. In fact, the storms that we had been tracking first, moving through portions of Grant County and Kay County, have now crossed over into Osage County, where there are additional tornado warnings there. But if we go to links 2, I've got the power outages currently picked up right now. And you can see that, at least on my product, we've got 1,000 customers without power within Garfield County, but we've got in my ear that there are about 4,000 customers that are actually without power because, did we get a new tornado warning?
Oh, we did just get it.
I think we may have got a new tornado warning.
It just came up.
Yep,
right
a new
now.
tornado warning. Yep. So, all right, so this is going to be
Was
that.
it-
That's that storm we've been tracking
it was
right there.
around Douglas. Let's see.
Yep, it's right
It,
there.
it was, yeah. It's what we were talking about here, Jack. Yeah.
Okay, so again, tornado warning for Garfield County continues now until 10 o'clock this evening. This is for that area that we were watching out for the storm. So the storm, the supercell thunderstorm that produced all the damage in Enid area has then kind of cycled through. The tornado warning was then on the northern side of it, and now we've been able to see a new area of rotation that we've been tracking in the proper, more southern part of the storm. And there's some more inflow notches that you can kind of see there where the reflectivity colors get a little bit lighter, right where counted is circled there and kind of right where my hand is. That's your area of inflow. And then you can see with our velocity, that's also still too where you've got the couplet showing up there. So a new tornado warning has been posted for the same supercell thunderstorm that goes now until 10 o'clock. Counted, if you could kind of put it from an area of rotation or a timing track there for us, I'll get the time for the speed of this storm. And it's moving. It's still, and again, we don't want to forget too, there's still also large hail up to golf ball sized, but it's only moving east at 15 miles an hour. So again, we are looking at a new kind of slow moving storm again with this. So yeah, kind of right there. Maybe not too many places get picked up on that. You know, Hayward gets picked up at 9:43 arrival time. So it's still a very slow moving storm, only 15 miles per hour to the east. And that does usually mean that there might be some sort of uptick that will be occurring with its strength. But you can see now that the overall storm itself is huge. It's a big storm. And there might even be some breaks trying to occur within that where it may be trying to split up a little bit. You can kind of see you have all those pinks and you got that little valley there where there's some of the reds showing up there. There might be some indication that the storm might be trying to split up a little bit. But we've also seen this happen too where it gets kind of stretched out like this and then it's able to then quickly tighten back up again, and that might be what we're seeing right now. So again, Covington area, Hayward, the Lucian, even though you're right there on the edge of the polygon, need to make sure that we're taking our tornado precautions. The storm right now is not as strong as what it looked like earlier on, but we know what the storm has been capable of, and it does have a pretty large area there of some strong rotation showing up with the product that Counted has pulled up right now.
It does, yeah. Even north here, Jack, you could see another area of strong rotation just outside of the tornado warning polygon, but we are continuing to track many areas for the most part just to the east of Douglas, looking at a strong area of rotation here. Let's look at the base velocity.
Yeah, so strong winds also making their way through the area too. So Douglas, Covington, Callahan, Hayward, you guys need to make sure that we're taking our precautions. Go down to the lowest level, away from the windows, and just make sure that we can ride the storm out. It's going to be a slow-moving storm, so you may have a long time to actually get to where you need to go for your tornado shelter, but we know what it did in Enid, so we need to make sure that we are, again, taking this storm very seriously. Also large hail, too. Again, now our product is doing pretty good showing where the large hail is showing up and getting to the proper size. There's also the chance for just large hail with this storm, too. So, again, another reason to get away from the windows and get it in that more interior room of your house.
Yeah, and looking at some larger hail, too, like you were just talking about here, widespread, even up to 2 inches in diameter, and overall, though, still looking at you know, the damaging winds with this as well. Let's look at the reflectivity. Pretty much rain wrapped here, Jack, too. You know, it is nighttime as well, which is much harder to see where this possible tornado could be. We just got a new update. Still seeing areas of some strong rotation here. You could see the red. Let me kind of highlight that here. Okay, a few areas seeing some strong rotation here, but this tornado warning in effect till 10 p.m. time frame here as of right now, continuing to head a little bit more to the east at around 15 miles per hour, still moving, you know, east of Douglas right now, 15 miles per hour. So it's not the fastest moving,
right?
But it still does have a little bit more of that larger, almost 2-inch size hail. And, you know, it is nighttime, so nocturnal storms getting very dangerous here as well. Currently about to be closer to Hayward. Let me maybe put on a cone here. Okay, 15 miles per hour. Let's see. Okay, so areas like Hayward, you have around 20 minutes, around 9:41 p.m. is when this possible tornado could be in and around your area, but you want to make sure right now is your time to, prepare to go into that tornado shelter, into that lowest level of your property, maybe a hallway away from windows, away from doors. Make sure your kids, your pets, anybody around is prepared and aware of this tornado warning we're currently seeing right now, and many areas of strong rotation as well. Let's see how it's looking here at base velocity. Still seeing a little bit tight, winds coming in here. Okay, let's see what this new update. Yeah, still looking pretty much the same with.
There's almost like a little bit in the way of the appendage starting to show up at the very end of the storm, like right at the very back end of it. It's actually outside of the tornado warning, but right there at the very end, there's a little bit in the way of a little appendage starting to show up on the radar. That might be where the storm is trying to then get its act back together again. I think that you've been showing the velocity, Conrad, where it's a big area of rotation. Again, this is a huge supercell thunderstorm, so it makes sense there's a big area of rotation. But I think, though, that we might have to kind of watch out for it to cycle through for a couple minutes, get its act together before, it might actually look more impressive again on that backside. That would be making its way eastward. So this storm might not be done, unfortunately.
Yeah, not yet.
The low-level jet at this time of the evening has now been kicked up and is now going. So the tornado threat still remains a definite possibility with really any storm that is out there right now. We just kind of thought that we'd be seeing more development across southwest Oklahoma. We thought there might be a couple storms to come out of there, and there were, but they really faded away pretty quickly, despite the fact that there was a weaker cap down there. But all the northern storms like we've been tracking here, close to that triple point, that never really then moved into Kansas either. So we've been keeping these storms going now for a long time.
We have, Jack. We have. For a long time, we've been tracking this supercell here as well. We were in the clear for a little bit, and then now again, a tornado warning posted here. But we were tracking, many of these areas here in and around Douglas earlier, and just to the west even of Douglas. We were seeing the stronger areas of rotation, and it just took a little bit until, we did get more of these areas of some stronger rotation.
Yeah.
The tornado warning that was actually posted, but this is in effect till 10 p.m. time frame here, still moving at around 15 miles per hour to the east. Golf ball sized hail with the tornado warning we are currently seeing here in Garfield County.
Yeah, so again, this is the same supercell that created all the damage in Vance Air Force Base area, in Enid area, within Garfield County. It still is in the same county. It's such a slow-moving storm. The average speed counted has been anywhere from like only 15 to 20 miles an hour. These warnings have been really slow warnings. And so, on one hand, that's good for you to get to your safe spot because then you have the time to do that. The problem, though, is that when they're slow moving like that, then their track becomes a bit more unpredictable. When they kind of are fast movers, like 30 plus miles an hour, we know it's going to move like northeast, and then we know that it's going to stay on that trajectory. But when they are slower like this, then there's more wobbling that can occur with the overall track, and then it's also a problem too because if they're slower movers, that may also mean that they are trying to cycle more, and they may be able to get stronger faster. And obviously we had that happen a little bit ago when it was moving over Enid and over Vance. But right now, again, area of rotation showing up from Covington and Callahan, south from there, and including some areas of some pretty strong rotation as well.
Yeah, no, with this newest scan here, Jack, the newest one just coming in here, not quite seeing as wide of an area of strong rotation. Let's see how the velocity is looking here.
But again, the velocity is going to show like it's there's a little spot, go back to velocity. Okay. There's like a little spot on the bottom of it that's actually like the probably true area, right where your mouse is. That's probably going to be the true area now for the tornado. So up there by Callahan and Covington, I don't think we have to really deal with that anymore. I think it's going to be down here. Let's see what that looks like with that rotation detector, what it does there. It hasn't even picked up on that yet.
Not yet.
So there's a chance that we might be looking at that to be the new spot to watch for going forward. Again, back to base velocity, that would again, it's in the tornado warning polygon, but like we've been kind of saying, we have this huge area of rotation because, again, the supercell is so big in and of itself. Some of these little tornadoes are able to form, and then they kind of then go on the northern side of it and kind of occlude, which may have been what happened by Covington and Callahan. This may be kind of the new zone to watch out for. Conrad, if you can circle that area with the pen and then go to just regular reflectivity and see what that looks like there. Okay, so we might be on the beginning stages here of that little notch trying to show back up, maybe. But that would be north of Marshall where that would be occurring. So, when the storm itself is trying to get itself back into shape, sometimes the reflectivity and the velocity may not match up with each other just yet before it becomes more apparent that we've got a stronger storm. So it might be getting its act together again with this new area. Again, huge hail now showing up there, which we do believe to be the case.
3 inches, wow.
So we're probably looking at this to be, again, producing and just dumping a lot of hail out of this storm. But again, still has that tornado potential until 10 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, still seeing, it's probably not 3 inches, hail diameter,
Right.
but it's getting pretty close to that for sure.
Yeah. So again, we continue to watch out for that area of so watch that little area of the on the south side of that. And then, there's also then, as you can see, then there's a pretty large new flood advisory, I believe, also got posted too. Yeah, big aerial flood advisory got posted for Garfield County until 12:30 at night. So
yeah, 1 to 3 inches of rainfall fell in a few spots, definitely.
Yeah.
Flooding material there. We were talking about that as well. If we're getting all that heavy rainfall coming down all at once, and we've been seeing some extreme droughts in many locations that will, kind of give us a little bit more of that potential for some flooding as well. So we're currently seeing aerial flood advisories in effect till around 12:30 a.m. time frame for all of these areas here. Most of these areas where we did see, this tornado warning earlier.
Yeah, so again, we are continuing to watch this supercell thunderstorm. We've got also storms that are farther to the north from here into the northeast from here. That is where we've got more in the way of that tornado warning that's in Osage County, I believe, is still ongoing right now. So kind of if you could zoom out and take a look at what that's doing. Yeah, so we are still looking at a Osage County tornado warning that continues until 10 o'clock there too. And those are the storms that we had the warnings on from earlier on today that were in portions of, by Medford and Brahman, those areas when we were tracking those storms. That's this same tornado storm up here. So long-lasting storms are ongoing right now in the northern part of the state, and we've been only looking at just a couple of storms south of the metro area. But if we can kind of go back down to our tornado warning, Conrad, you'll see that these storms are kind of slowly making their way southward with time. We'll see if we get any more new developments to the west of here, but eventually there's going to be the chance we have to kind of watch out for. If we get more new development, that potentially can make its way into the metro area. It hasn't done that yet, and we are still pretty far north of the metro area right now, but that's one thing we have to watch out for. Current time is now 9:30, so we lost that severe thunderstorm warning there is what that looks like, and we're left with our tornado warning until 10 o'clock. We'll see if they put out a new big severe thunderstorm warning out for the storm as it makes its way towards the Perry area and then also Red Rock. So it's again getting kind of close to the edge of our viewing area, but we have to watch this still until 10 o'clock with our current tornado warning.
Yeah, I don't know if it's maybe picking up a little bit of speed, but it's been moving a little bit faster, in my opinion, here, Jack, than earlier. But now still seeing many areas with weak rotation. There is a couple of areas here with some stronger rotation just south of Hayward. As of right now, not seeing this being a confirmed tornado warning, but we are continuing to track this, tornado warning here in effect till 10 p.m. time frame. Velocity-wise, though, not seeing anything too tight there. Reflectivity, just seeing a lot of rainfall, most likely being rain-wrapped as well. But heavy rainfall, gusty winds, hail, damaging hail as well, up to 2 inches, right around 2 inches. Now getting into flooding potential as well, heavy rainfall, and this tornado threat that we are currently tracking, the tornado warning as well. It is nighttime, so now, Jack,
Yeah.
we're in this nocturnal time frame. It's making it much harder, much more dangerous as well.
I know. So we've got that tornado warning, and it's, as you can see, Conrad's got our rotation detector, and it's getting close to the edge there of the actual polygon itself by Lucian currently there. The main area of concern they're watching is going to be east of Covington on State Highway 164. So they're gonna shrink up this tornado warning is what it looks like within just the next couple minutes here, Conrad.
Okay.
Then we also have northeast of there. There's still some leftover severe thunderstorm warnings within K County until 10 o'clock, but really it's going to be just kind of this storm itself that we are watching out for. It's got our rotation still with it. It's produced, as you can see, a lot in the way of rotation. It's still a big storm, and so there's going to be a large area of rotation, but the spots that we're really mainly concerned about is going to be kind of from Covington and east of there.
And a lot of hail too, Jack. A lot of hail with this in and around Hayward now as well. Still in and around Douglas once again. Just continuing to track more of that. Let me put on the potential here for the hail size probably showing up as 2 inches. Okay, so 2-inch size hail, and we are continuing to track. A lot of, let's look at Hayward, for example, right? 1.5 inch hail just to the west of Hayward. Now we're getting into possibly around 2-inch size hail.
Yeah.
So Hayward is still going to see some pretty large hail, or at least that potential for it at the next 10, 15, even 20 minutes.
Yeah, so there's going to also be a new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to come out for this too, Conrad, to just kind of encompass the storm. Hasn't done that yet. They're about to do that, but it's going to be for ping-pong-sized hail. So again, it makes sense. Our product's actually now pretty close to what the actual size is going to be of the actual hail size with this. So again, major supercell thunderstorm that has produced a ton of damage, continues to still move slowly to the east of our area, east through our area. And while it's weakened significantly, there still poses a threat for tornado damage, as well as a threat for that large hail potential too. And so this still remains a storm that we have to watch out for very closely. And we've got this going still until 10 o'clock this evening. So for another 26 more minutes, we have this tornado warning that'll be ongoing. Again, they're gonna pop a severe thunderstorm warning out for around it. And that's going to encompass, there it is, that's going to encompass the large hail. So it does take it well into Noble County. And you can see that Stillwater is actually in the severe thunderstorm warning polygon until 10:30. So it's a big storm moving generally to the east, but there's still concern with that little creep down to the south, which is why it does get kind of into that next row of counties. It does come down a little bit there. So yeah, northern Logan County and into northern Payne County are now also included with this larger severe thunderstorm warning. Again, most of the storm is still moving eastward, but there's still a little jog to the east-southeast that we have to still kind of take into effect there.
Yep, Noble, and of course we're seeing Garfield County here as well, seeing the worst of it as of right now, but a big area seeing this actual severe thunderstorm warning in effect till 10:30, so another hour or so. And it's not moving fast either. It's a little bit slow-moving storm here as well. So we're going to continue to track this slowly moving across once again as we continue to see it having a tornado warning tag here. Once again, let's look at the shear rate.
Yep, so there it is.
Weak area of rotation.
Yeah, so again, you got Covington, Callahan, Woodward, Lucian, all within the area of the tornado warning. One thing that I was able to see, Connor, that was of note was that the severe thunderstorm warning that surrounds it does not include that tornado possible tag, which is actually some good news. So that does not include that tornado possible tag, which does mean that we are probably looking at just this only area of rotation that we have to watch out for, that we will be, if nothing happens after 10 o'clock, then we might be back to being tornado free again. At least we'll see. But that's at least some good news there overall with how things are playing out.
Yeah, and it looks like this, the area of the rotation is kind of starting to get a little bit more ahead of this tornado warning soon. So we'll see what happens if they end up canceling this tornado warning out in a few minutes, or just letting it expire, or worst case scenario, just trying to extend it there.
Yeah. If we can go to what it looks like with rotation, with our velocity, and we could see that, yeah, there's a new little spot there that you had with your area of rotation detector picking up there. If you could circle that, let's see what that looks like with the regular radar after that. So there might be a new little spot there to watch out for. In terms of reflectivity, okay, a little bit of a notch right there. So there might be a new spot to kind of keep our eye on. It would be on the southern side of the storm itself. If you could zoom out, Conrad, you can kind of see where this all lies. That would be in a spot that would make sense from a tornado standpoint. You know, it's on the inflow notch right there coming in on the south side of the actual supercell. You know, the embedded circulation is well within the rain-wrapped zone there where the tornado warning is, but this new spot that we have circled might be a spot to watch out for. In fact, the rotation detector shows it up better there, and it's already back up to strong. So
It's strong now.
the fact that this is kind of cycled is not surprising because the overall environment here is still really good to work with, and also too the fact that, you know, this supercell is just so mature now at this point that, you know, it can almost kind of, you know, we've seen this happen plenty of times where the environment now is no longer very good, but because it's just such a strong storm and it's already got so much inertia going, you just can't slow it down.
Yes, you're right. You're right. It's just, it looks like it's just recycling here. It's weakening and then it's picking up a little bit more strength here. And as of right now, it does look like it's picking up a little bit more of that stronger rotation here. As of right now, just south and east of Douglas and north of Marshall. Newest scan just came in, still seeing a little bit of a smaller area of some stronger rotation, but still seeing that coming up here on the velocity once again.
Yeah. And if you get the chance, let's go back to the Barron product to see what it looks like with the hail size.
3 inches. Let's see.
Yeah, because there's still a chance that we just got a report there. There was like
3 inches.
just east of Douglas of baseball-sized hail. So it makes sense there that our product's going 3+ inches. We could definitely be looking at just massive hail also with this. So yeah, for the emergency management office there in Enid, yeah, there huge hail still falling to the east of Douglas. So our radar product is actually doing a pretty good job with the estimates now of the size currently. Is that, again, this supercell is still just a mature supercell. It has all these characteristics with it. It is still rotating. It's producing massive hail, and it's been long-lived too. It's been going now for hours in this very favorable environment in the northern part of the state.
Yeah, so Jack, even if we're, you know, some of these areas outside of the tornado warning, just imagine 3-inch size hail coming down, just how large it is, how much damage it could do on vehicles, on you know, anyone outside. But the newest scan here, you could see it just coming in a little bit smaller.
Yeah, it came down, but
just
you know,
a little bit.
It's still big and
still
so
large.
you know, that's what's going to happen. Our product's going to go up and down as it gets these newest piece of information. But we've got, again, that chance for very large hail. As you can see, too, with our reflectivity, this is just a big storm in general. And then, too, you've got maybe even 2 areas of rotation, the old area and kind of the new area to watch out for. The new area will be, again, to that where that spot of severe or that strong shows up, that kind of about to circle right there. That might be still kind of the area to watch out for, which we've been watching that area for the past couple minutes, too. That would be more of your classic area to actually get the tornado out of it, which would be in that kind of quadrant of the supercell. But again, this is a huge supercell in general, so it's kind of just circling. There's a lot of just broad rotation in general ongoing with this storm.
And this first area here, the second area I circled here, where my mouse is at right now, this is where we were seeing that tornado warning, you know, the area with the tornado warning. But the southern part, just south and east of Douglas, now we're getting into, you know, this is outside of the tornado warning polygon here, but still seeing a strong area of rotation. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens with the newest scans coming on in, but on the reflectivity, I mean, maybe not as impressive as 15 minutes ago, but still seeing a lot of rainfall wrapped around in there as well. A lot of hail, a lot of winds, and just nonstop rain. Flood advisory a little bit north into Covington. That is in effect till 12:30 a.m. here. Okay, so we have a little bit more time with that, around almost 3 hours or so. Let me see on this. Okay, still seeing severe thunderstorm warning with our northern cell here, and that's in and around Ponca City, but most of that rain is just to the east of Ponca City. So Ponca City, you're good to go when it comes to, the severe weather in and around your area, but still seeing severe thunderstorm warning here in effect in Ponca City till around 10 p.m. time frame. But that cell now continuing to move a little bit more to the east as well, just continuing to track this one area, currently seeing a tornado warning right now till 10 p.m. time frame for areas like Hayward, Covington as well. Let's put on a time lapse here, 15 minutes.
Yeah, so I was just checking with Kathy. We had Kathy, our storm tracker, down in Chickasha to see if those storms coming in at a lot and were going to do anything, and they formed and they went briefly severe warned earlier on, but as you can see, they've really faded away. We were really concerned actually with those storms down there to potentially make a run towards the metro area this evening because our models were kind of showing that. So she's going to power down, but I was just texting her there for a second, so that's what I was doing there, Conrad.
Yep, we are still seeing a little bit of a smaller area of a tornado warning here, but overall though, still seeing this only tornado warning we're currently tracking here for the viewing area. Shear rate showing up as some weaker rotation. There is one area ahead where we were just talking about ahead of this actual tornado warning, seeing some stronger rotation. So we'll see, Jack, if they actually cancel this tornado warning out, extend it, or just let it expire here. But another 16 and a half minutes of tornado warning that is currently in effect here with a wide area of a severe thunderstorm warning here. Let's see what it's showing up here when it comes to debris. Nothing
nothing
too
there.
Obvious.
Yep, which is good. And then you've got obviously a lot of that blue by Marshall. That's just going to be a lot of the dust getting picked up because that's going to be probably some outflow winds coming in at that point there with the storm. But yeah, from the tornado warning aspect of it, it's not going to be there, which is good news. But you can just see how big this storm is in general. But it is now, it's really not all that favorably oriented to keep going from a tornado aspect, at least as of right now. There's still some pockets of some strong winds, still some pockets there of some large hail. In fact, that hail threat is primarily our main concern, I would bet, going forward with this storm, as it could easily be upwards of 2 inches in diameter. In fact, we have it actually officially warned for up to tennis ball sized.
Yeah, 2 inches is very large. 2 inches could easily break windows, easily cause a lot of injuries, damage to vehicles, even roofs as well, shingles once again. And then, of course, once, if you have some shingles that break off, anything like that, you could get some water into the property. Of course, we're trying to avoid that. But overall, we are tracking more so tornado warning right now. We'll see what happens here. Let me put on the base velocity again. Okay, not seeing anything too impressive there. Shear rate, same story, not looking at any strong rotation inside that tornado warning. But then again, ahead of that tornado warning, seeing that one area of a strong rotation, and then now seeing, again, just north and east of Marshall, seeing the second area of stronger rotation.
Yeah, so those, it's a whole big area there that's probably rotating, and occasionally we might be looking at some of those, especially the one by Marshall there that you've been watching, Conrad. That might be more along the edge of the rear flank downdraft where you've got some localized really strong winds coming out from there. When you turn on what it looks like with the regular radar, you'll probably see that that's where we have a little bit in the way of a notch showing up, but that would also be where the wind's coming out from the storm right there too, pushing out towards Marshall, and that would be the reason why you have some just rotation there, but just because of the fact that you've got a lot of friction that's happening in that part of the storm. But it's still a rotating supercell. This is still a huge supercell thunderstorm, so there's still rotation with it. But whatever would be potentially tornado warned would be rain wrapped, unfortunately, and very hard to see.
And also, it's nighttime, so that's another consideration for us to making this a bit more on the dangerous side. It's dark, it's rain wrapped, can't really see it. So if you are in this tornado warning anywhere in these regions, you just want to really, really pay attention and just evacuate. You want to make sure you are in this tornado shelter, lowest level of your property. You just want to make sure you are safe, you are prepared, and everyone around you, you know, family, pets, neighbors, everyone's kind of aware of what exactly could be happening here. It is 9:46 p.m. here, so it's not quite, you know, 2, 3 a.m. where a lot of people are sleeping, but still it is, you know, starting to get a little bit later into the overnight hours, Jack, so people are going to start to go to sleep a little bit more. That is why these become a bit more on the dangerous side.
Yeah. It'll be very interesting to see what we get when we get to 10 o'clock, what ends up happening with these tornado warnings, or if this storm is able to cycle back up and maybe we get another warning, another spot. But you can see there's a couple spots that we have there with our rotation that are showing up, but it's just because this is a huge supercell thunderstorm still, so there's going to be just a lot of rotation in general with this storm, because it's been such a long-lived storm. It can't just not rotate anymore. So it's going to still keep on rotating because of how big it's been, and it just might be kind of spreading out more as it does so, and becoming more broadly based.
Yeah, let's see what the power outages are showing up here on the back end. Okay, looking at it, 1,500.
1,500, yep.
Okay, even up north, you know, a few hundred here and there, a couple hundred in and around Ponca City. So there is a bunch of people that have some power outages here, currently possibly around 1,500, wherever we're seeing this tornado warning right now. Let me clear that up here.
Yeah,
Reflectivity.
that's for the county. Yeah, so there might be 1,500 people without power in Garfield County after the tornado warning storms. I think, though, that we actually had maybe closer to 4,000 people are without power in Garfield County. But that was a bit ago. The numbers probably changed at this point. But so large supercell thunderstorm making its way over Callahan, Hayward, Lucien, the Gainesville area towards Perry. I-35 is about to get more in the way of just very heavy rain and eventually some large hail out of this too. Your area of highest reflectivity is going to be in and around Callahan and Hayward. That's also where our product does paint some of that largest hail potential too. So we've got, again, a number of issues still with this supercell thunderstorm. It's still warned for tennis ball sized hail. You've got tremendously high rainfall rates too, as those fall rates could be, you know, easily coming in over an inch per hour. So we've got, again, a lot of aspects still with this storm that are being very dangerous. And so if you just don't need to be out in it, then just stay home at this point this evening. But again, we have 11 more minutes left with our tornado warning for Garfield County. The storm itself is slowly moving eastward at only around 15 miles per hour. So that's why there's also going to be a very large flooding potential with this storm too.
Flooding, another concern, yeah.
Yeah.
We are seeing this aerial flood advisory here. Let me clear this out real quick. Aerial flood advisory here.
Yeah.
Northern parts of Garfield County, 12:30 a.m. So we're also on top of, you know, the hail, the wind, the tornado warnings.
Yep.
We're seeing this flood potential, which is another big risk with the roadways being flooded. You, of course, do not want to be driving through any flooded roadways.
I mean, this is a big supercell thunderstorm. It's like it's like
huge.
30 miles wide. I mean, it is big there when you look at it. So you've got just a lot of just energy within the storm still that is not totally gone away, but it is in a downward trend. I really don't think we're going to have a tornado warning after 10 o'clock, at least for this section of the storm, because it's just the orientation would really support it to be kind of where more of that notch is, where that more little southern section of area of rotation shows up. By that notch south of Hayward would be right there where you'd have that notch that would show up. That would be the best spot for it right now. But right now, at least we remain tornado free in that part of the storm as of right now. But still, Covington, Callahan, Hayward, Lucien, we still need to make sure that we are in our shelters or in our safe spots right now, because again, there's that threat for tornado, but also too just a large hail threat too. We just don't want to be anywhere close to the windows or on that exterior wall or on a upper level. We want to get on the lowest level too, just because, again, that threat for tornadoes, but also just that large hail threat too. These have just been huge hail producers this evening, and so they're going to do a lot of damage in and of themselves, whether you get a tornado or not.
Yeah, we saw some pretty large hail earlier as
Yeah.
well, but now at least the rotation is weak here
Yeah.
for the whole entire storm, which is a great sign. Not seeing any strong rotation, so great sign, headed in the right direction right now. Still seeing a good amount of hail, rain, wind as well, but we are looking at a little bit less of that rotation here getting picked up, which is exactly what we want to hear. But look how large this
Yeah,
severe
just a-
thunderstorm warning is, almost 50 miles.
Yeah, just a huge severe thunderstorm warning on it. It's just a large storm in general. It's all right. So
Almost 50 miles. Wow.
just a second ago. So the tornado warning is expired now. So it's
Okay.
it's going to expire at 10 o'clock. So we are done with the tornado warning. It's going to stay on the map for the next 8 minutes, but for all intents and purposes, it's done. So guys in the back, let me know if you want me to toss to break at some point. Just let me know and give me the cue, and we can do that here. We can keep going, but thankfully, though, at least the tornado warning itself is going to be allowed to expire at 10 o'clock. So it's, for all intents and purposes, going to be no longer concerned with us, at least as of right now. But you do have the storm that will be kind of right there, entering into the far northern part of Logan County. So we're not talking Guthrie, but we are looking at definitely Mulhall, definitely by Stillwater into more Payne County. The storm is going to be approaching your area, and there is still a chance for some strong winds with this. But our main issue has been the very large hail potential. The very large hail. We've seen these warnings now for many of these coming in over 2 inches in diameter. So that's going to be our main threat with the storm still as it continues. Again, this is a big supercell thunderstorm. It can't totally just go away. It's going to have to kind of wind down a little bit. But I will see what I get in my ear in terms of what we want to do planning-wise going forward.
And I just want to, what was that, Jack?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say I want to take a little bit of a wider view. Now
Sure.
let's take a look at these storms down here. Let me just change it. Okay, so yeah, no warnings with these, but they are still popping up here. It's quick passing thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Southern parts of the viewing area. For now, we'll see what happens there, but currently not seeing anything warned.
I think if we were going to see anything happen with that one, we would have seen that. That was
We
actually the
would've,
reason
yeah.
why. The reason why we had Kathy go down there was because of the fact that the cap was weaker down there, and even though the triple point, which is where all these storms have been, was always supposed to be up here, there was the threat that we could be talking about a couple of just very large supercells coming in out of southwest Oklahoma, making a beeline for the metro area, and that was the reason why we had Kathy positioned where she was. And so she's on her way back now. Again, these storms south of Rush Springs are no longer a problem. She's already powered down, so she's heading back home now. But again, we had her stationed down there in case that those storms were to do anything. And then when they were able to form, there was actually a warning on them briefly while we were stuck in the tornado warnings. But we were, that's where we sent her there, because there was a chance, although low, there was a chance that we could be talking about something similar to what we had earlier on in Enid, potentially happening in Oklahoma City. But again, a major tornado went through Garfield County earlier on this evening. Our crews are on there. And so we'll go for the next 2 more minutes or so, Conrad, before we come to our end break, and we'll go to a commercial break at that point. But we still have to kind of watch out for these storms for the remainder of the night tonight. There might still be the chance. You can see south of Enid by Wacomas, there's a little cell that's popped up right there. There might be the chance for more storms to kind of develop on the western side of this line that kind of arcs into more of green country. And so there might still be a chance that as we go into the nighttime hours tonight, we're kind of slowly watching more storms building westward that are making their way closer to the metro area, potentially. Not for sure, but there's a chance that is going to be the case. And so that will be one thing that we'll be watching out for very closely throughout the remainder of the night tonight. But
Yep. So we're almost wrapped up here, Jack. Of course, we have a couple more minutes here, but What's your kind of take on tonight's severe weather event? 2 confirmed tornadoes here.
Yeah.
That we did see one larger one.
Yep.
We did see that emergency tornado warning here. Very rare. It doesn't happen often at all here.
Very rare.
But overall, a longer period of time. We were, doing this live coverage for over 3 hours now. But confirmed tornadoes that we did see, maybe even a larger one as well.
Yeah, and there's again also tornado warnings that we had in the Green Country too. So there might have been a number of tornadoes across the state that have occurred today. The National Weather Service for sure is going to go and take a look at these 2 spots that we had in our area. That would be one thing they're going to be watching out for tomorrow. But we'll wait and definitely see what daylight brings with the damage out there. We do have our crews, and they're probably getting pretty close to Enid, if not even or almost there. And so we've got just a little bit of time left, and we'll toss it a break once we we're going to do that right now. So we're going to wrap up, and we're going to go to break right now.
One, two, three, four, five. Winnie, mic check. Okay. Not a clue. Hadn't heard.
I haven't heard anything either. I've been asked, and no one said anything in my ear.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Okay. This is the actual newscast though, right?
Can you tell me what you're telling him? But what? So, okay, okay. And where is Rob? Okay. All right, just holler.
Okay. Well.
This is the Fox 25 News Late Edition.
So we have seen a number of confirmed tornado warnings throughout the night tonight. Right now that it is 10 o'clock in the evening, we should be tornado free right now. If you guys can pull up links 2, let's just do this off of links 2, that way I can just drive it myself. Right now, as you can see though, we've got most of our activity is in the northern part of the state right now. And thankfully, as you can see, as I zoom in on that section, we no longer have any more tornado warnings. The only thing that we do have is, again, the storm that brought the tornado warnings remains severe warned right now until 10:30 this evening. But thankfully, the threat for that has gone down, and as well as also too, the threat for the hail has come down too. So we are now no longer seeing it up to tennis ball size like it was earlier on. It's now being warned for up to 1.5 inches in diameter for our hailstones. So that's some good news as it makes its way towards Perry, Lake McMurdy, and the Stillwater area. Those are going to be the spots to watch out for. Now, as we go throughout the remainder of our evening, I'm going to pull up our Futurecast and just kind of do it on my computer here with the mouse. You can see, though, that our storms our model's doing not the best look with where our storms currently are at right now. However, as we animate this through, you can see there's an overall just kind of lower, like everything's moving southward slowly. So, here in the metro area, we might still be able to get some of these storms if we can get more development to the west of what we currently have right now. There might be some development that comes out into the metro area overnight tonight, but the overall look of things will be less impressive after midnight tonight. So, but like I said, the model doesn't totally line up with what we currently have out there right now. So don't take this as total truth right now. I think that we are probably looking at this model to be, if anything, delayed, and that what we have right now is, like this showing up right here, it's delayed by a few hours, and then it moves southward. So here in the metro, I think we definitely need to watch out for things going forward. But then, unfortunately, though, we're just looking at more storms to redevelop back up again across more of eastern and southeastern Oklahoma once you get to tomorrow afternoon. These storms that we're tracking right now, they're still attached to the cold front, and that'll be pushing through with these storms given time as well overnight tonight. By tomorrow, the cold front will be more across eastern Oklahoma and more of southeast Oklahoma. And at that point, we may be dealing with more additional redevelopment of our storms. But again, earlier on today, we had just a huge tornado that came through portions of Garfield County. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to our reflectivity and turn on our local storm reports there. And you can see there is, again, confirmed tornado at the Air Force Base, and then that basically just continued onward. So we know that we had a lot of damage associated with this tornado as well. So the tornado likely got confirmed just to the probably west or southwest of Vance Air Force Base, and then really got bad once it was directly over the Air Force Base itself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on what we call the correlation coefficient, which is our damage tracker, and I'm going to go back to that. I'm just going to slowly go back to that. And so it was right there, really, where you've got this big blue ball right there. That right there is what we call a debris ball, and that's what we were most concerned with when it came to our damage there. Again, right there just shows you how big that was. And as I put a measurement on that, I mean, we're easily talking, at least a mile wide worth of damage that just came off the base and then made its way into more of the southeastern corner of Enid and the eastern side of Enid. So again, major tornado went through this area earlier on today. We had that super rare emergency tornado warning, the tornado emergency. We very rarely see those, but the wording on that was catastrophic. So we've got our crews on their way there right now. They probably are pretty close at this point, but they're on their way right now to get to the damage and check that out for us. And especially by tomorrow morning, daylight's going to reveal a lot of damage in this part of the state. We also confirmed tornado warnings earlier on farther north from there. There was some little pockets there of debris that we had seen, but that would have been, again, as you can see from Deer Creek and by Brahman, right there in the far northern part of Kay County. These were in a very rural part of the viewing area, and so there was some times where you could maybe see some dust get picked up, maybe even some vegetation was lofted into the air. But from a damage standpoint, while it was confirmed, it was nowhere near as bad as what we had. Nowhere near as bad as what we had in Enid. So again, we continue to watch the threat for more storms going into the night tonight with our severe storms. But thankfully, though, things right now are kind of on a downward trend. So I'll put things back to current time. Turn on the lightning to show you what we're looking at for the past 5 minutes, or past 15 minutes, I should say. And you can see just the storms that we have out there, just prolific lightning makers. In fact, there's been actually a lot of lightning strikes making their way as far south as Guthrie, well out and away from our storm. But it is trying to move southward a little bit. There's a bit of a building pattern to the south of that, which is... Yeah, I do want to talk about that. Yeah, so we do have a video of the Brahman tornado. We're going to pull that up here in a moment. And okay, so this is from the Brahman tornado. And so this would have been, again, the northern part of our viewing area, which was in Kay County, which is the storm I was just talking about, in a very rural area. But you can see just how good that was able to look there with that smooth elephant trunk cone there. this is the best type of tornado to have, where it is out legitimately in the middle of rural Oklahoma, where there is nothing that it can really hit outside of just a couple of, maybe power poles. You've got very few people that are there, so it's a very good spot to have a tornado. That way it can stay, rural and not hurt anybody. But as you can see, this is from Brett Adair, a storm chaser and you can see this there again. This is still the Brahman tornado with that lowering there. Again, it was a very picturesque day with these tornadoes that we had in Oklahoma earlier on. These storms that were in the northern part of the state were near what we call the triple point, which is where you've got the dry line and the cold front that will intersect and get close to each other. This is a good area that we were able to see of development. So that was what we had earlier on today. But we'll talk more about our chance for storms overnight tonight, as well as additional chance for severe weather in the days ahead, because unfortunately we're not done with that threat. Okay, so we'll keep going then. So we will then be looking at we had a lot of hail reports too out of these storms. So these storms also produce a lot of hail as well. Let me pull.
Jack, there's a new update that just came in.
Okay.
If that's okay, I want to say
yeah,
there's
go
a
ahead.
severe thunderstorm warning that was issued here, but that is in Garfield County, so that's actually behind the severe thunderstorm warning that we're looking at, that wide area. So Garfield County looking at a severe thunderstorm warning in effect till around 10:45 p.m. time frame. So we have 38 minutes right now to go. Otherwise, though, looking at the storm moving east at 15 miles per hour, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts,
Good winds, too.
quarter-sized hail as well. That's what we're looking at. So 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah, so, and this is sad too, because now we have a severe thunderstorm warning over the same spots that got hit by the tornado just a couple hours ago. So let me turn the lightning on with this to show you, it's the hail threat is there, they counted and said, the wind threat, but that's going to put a bit of a damper on recovery efforts with the tornado warning there too. So that's unfortunate. Again, right behind the storm itself. Now you can also see too how quickly these storms have gone up there, also by Billings and Garber too. So these, we're definitely not done with our storms like I showed you on our model. We're still looking at storms to kind of sweep through southward. And we need to have more development on the west side of our big storm that we currently have, and that's actually happening right now. Just unfortunately, it's happening right over Enid, right over Vance, right over the south side of Enid there, right where we had our tornado warning with the debris and our recovery efforts. So they're going to have to put a pause on that right now, which is unfortunate. And the people that have suffered damage, unfortunately, they're going to have now a bunch of rain and maybe even more hail drop down on their property that already got damaged. So just a sad situation to have that happen just so shortly after our tornado warning came through.
Yes, you're right here. And also, Jack, I want to mention one thing. We're also looking at a flash flood warning that is in effect. As of right now, it looks like it's in effect for east central Garfield County here in northern Oklahoma, and of course west central Noble County as well, in effect till around a 1:15 a.m. time frame. And some of these areas saw some excessive rainfall totals, over 2 to even 3 to even close to 4 inches of rainfall in a few spots.
Yeah, because I got the 3-hour rainfall up on mine counted, and you can see up to 4 inches there.
Wow.
Yeah, so makes sense that we had that we have this problem too. And again, unfortunately, we've got more storms kind of going over the same locations over and over and over again, especially with that storm over Enid right now. There might be, again, additional areas of flooding that we have to be watching out for and concerned about. So and you can just kind of step outside when.
And you could also see with this, Jack, that overall, though, with drought conditions being so bad, the flooding actually gets worse because of how dry and hard that ground is.
Just can't soak in.
Can't really soak in as quick.
So we're going to toss to break, and we'll be right back after just a quick moment and a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here.
Yay.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, mic check, mic check. Thank you. What's that? What? Something about a lid. No, I heard something about a lid. Oh, okay. Thank you.